Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell. Ready to serve.
Joy.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 36 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
As we've seen over the course of my lifetime, your lifetime, preseason predictions are not always indicative of what happens in the actual year.
Rarely are they. You look at the record of media days and predicting champions, and the record's not great for the media in predicting always just the SEC champion. And it's going to get harder as leagues get bigger. And now you don't have divisions. And, I mean, I think it makes the predictions even more difficult. Not enough focus is put on personnel. Not enough focus is put on, and I think that's harder to do now because of NIL. And I think last year, this is just my opinion, some of the NIL stuff and some of the things that, we saw going on around the team, I don't think it was the only reason, but it was part of the reason why maybe the team didn't live up to its expectations. We heard about trouble in the locker room, and there was clearly trouble between the offensive coordinator and Dan Enos, the quarterback, and that offensive system that led to a midseason change. I think the season never got on track offensively in particular, and this year you got to be more hopeful.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me rephrase that. You got two gentlemen. You got one ain't earned it yet, has he?
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's
hope's a term often used and associated with a number of different sports teams, fan bases, and excitement for football, basketball, and baseball seasons ahead. And I know the hope is not as strong as it was heading into last season or in previous years for Arkansas football, but hopefully it's something y'all are still clinging on to, at least for a little bit. We'll see how it goes in week 2 in Stillwater. We'll see how it goes the rest of the season. But I do want to discuss that aspect. I want to discuss your beefs this morning here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. Tommy, we had 2 more qualifiers yesterday at Hardee's for our annual football trip of a lifetime contest, our 19th, nearly 2 decades of that. So we're 4 in. We're only 2 remotes in, basically.
And we got how many? 4 total?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So
we had a guy show up late that's going to be in here next week, so at least
filling
5.
up fast. So, all right. What's Your Beef Wednesday? I guess they ate some beef yesterday. What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Hey, if you've not been to Richard's, you're missing out because no other meat market is the same as what you'll find at Richard's. It's in a league of its own. Selection, quality, value. Selection is unbelievable because it's not just the great cuts of beef and pork and other things, but it's the spices and the rubs and the seafood options as well. Find them online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
I think one of my beefs as we get going here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday has been certain factions of the fan base, certain media members, certain Twitter trolls that for whatever reason just want to squash any hope whatsoever that Arkansas has a chance to have a decent season this year. Now, I just want to be clear about something. I think Arkansas is in that kind of 5 or 7, 6-6, 7-5 range. That's that kind of that 2-game window that I find themselves in, which is not a great season by any stretch of the imagination. We've seen far greater seasons than that. But again, my beef centers around the idea of certain people that won't even let the season start without just spelling doom and gloom, saying the season's going to suck. Occasionally a host on this very radio station from time to time, but it just, frankly, it pisses me off.
What did I say?
What
did I do?
It's not you. I think you know that. But it's just, like, it blows my mind. Again, you don't have to go shoot for the moon and say they're going to win 10 games. They're not going to win 10 games. Probably not going to win 9 games.
Let's be honest.
You also
8 would be a miracle.
8 would be awesome, and I would be ecstatic.
Anybody not signing up for 7 right now?
I would take 7 as well,
Exactly.
7-5. But again, like, it's the idea that the season hasn't even started yet, and you should just blow it up. And you shouldn't even go to games. You shouldn't watch games. You shouldn't listen to games. And it just, frankly, like it just drives me up a wall listening to that as we're 30
Sounds
some
like
odd
the next
days
staff
out.
meeting, Big C's going to be interesting. So it's I don't know. That's maybe I need to to have security ready at the next staff meeting.
Probably do.
Yeah.
Contain these guys.
Well, what are you going to do? That's
With security?
You going to come across the table at somebody?
Well, if Officer Breeden's here, I'm not
Slap
going to
some sense in
not going to
somebody?
do squat. No, it does. It's not just.
No, it's talking season, and everybody has a perspective on why they think they're right. And more often than not, people think they're going to win more games than they probably will, with the exception of the upper crust. But because it's not hard for Georgia fans to think they're going to win 11 or 12 ball games. I get that. But I keep going back to the point I was making last week. Just sit down with the master schedule, and you'll get to the top. You'll probably find 9 or 10 plus wins for Georgia, Texas, LSU. You might throw Ole Miss in there. I've said Missouri schedule's set up well enough for them that they may get to 9 or 10 wins again this year. But then that middle clump, the South Carolinas, the Texas A&Ms with a new coach, the Arkansas, the Auburns. I mean that the Oklahomas. I would throw there's 5 teams just off the top of my head. Just circling, hey, that's a win in a conference play. And I'll just give you 4 non-con games. I'll just give you 4. Getting to 8 is a much harder thing than we all appreciate as college football fans in this league. I'm not saying you need to settle for that. I'm just saying let's have an honest conversation about what we're talking about here.
Yeah. I'm sure those honest conversations are going on in other fan bases as well.
But no one. But that's the thing. This time of the year, there aren't honest conversations because it's all going to work out. This prospect you got out of the portal is going to be he's a diamond in the rough.
He's way better than last
way better than that guy's way better. He's put on 20 good pounds. Maybe got the new OC. You had your change over here.
Body fat.
If you're an A&M, you got a new head coach, and by God, Jimbo's not there anymore. Everyone's got a reason to be hopeful. But the reality is, math says not everybody can go 9-3, and 8-4 is a hell of a steep hill. I'm not saying it's impossible. But everything would probably have to fall right for Arkansas to reach that, what I would think would be a magic level this year.
Well, considering you lost 5 games by single-digit points.
A lot of people think they're going to be good right now. And then there's, like you said, the ones that are irritating you that think you shouldn't even.
Again, it's okay.
Tune it in this year.
It's okay to have a perspective, but for example, Brian in Ozark, who just calls in to legitimately say how bad Arkansas is going to suck this year.
It's not aggravate you.
It's not just Brian, but it's fans. It's fans out there. Listen, you can have an opinion that Arkansas is not going to be good, but you don't have to say it every single day. You don't have to get on social media. You don't have to text it in our group text every single day. How bad?
Now we're getting to the root of
how
it.
bad Arkansas
It's your group
football
text.
is going to be this upcoming football season. And again, I just want to be perfectly clear. I have them anywhere from 5 to 7 wins. I'm tending that, honestly, it's closer to 5 to 6, which is not a great season. And if that happens, I don't know what the future of Sam Pittman's going to be. But it just is, again, it's frustrating beyond belief that we haven't even seen them play a single down of real football yet. And certain people have this conceived notion that you should give up on 2024. When you look at Arkansas's history of success or seasons that they've been predicted really low, oftentimes they outperform those expectations. It's when there's actually something expected of your Arkansas Razorback football team that they flounder, kind of like last year.
But Ty, do you know how boring this world would be if we all thought the same way? If everybody just had your opinion, you know how boring this world would be?
Sports talk radio would not exist.
I don't know if it wouldn't exist, but it'd be government radio. I mean,
Tommy.
I mean, differing opinions is what makes the world go round. All right, that's a What's Your Beef Wednesday. I had to go to the tag office yesterday. So you think I didn't pick a beef or two up there? I'll hold that one for later in the show. What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. Get your beefs in on the text line, 877-377-6963. Or you can call us as well and tell us what's kind of grinding your gears this morning. Hey, the Rebel Crick Hopper. It's the perfect thing to take along for some pond or creek fishing right now, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel Crick Hopper. Twitch it, pop it, walk it, swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The Crick Hopper works great in tandem with a light spinning rod and reel. Use 4 or 6 pound line. You'll find it to work great. Find the Rebel Crick Hopper, Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and your favorite tackle stores all over the place.
We got some text to get to, plus some hog news from yesterday as we keep it going on the Morning Rush.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from tuning.
This is Austin Allen, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Get up to $6,500 off on 2024 GMC Sierras, or $4,000 off, and as low as 1.9% financing for 36 months with approved credit at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 2024 GMC Sierra 1500 has a 5.3-liter V8 engine, so you can conquer the road with confidence. Up to $6,500 off, or $4,000 in discounts, and as low as 1.9% financing. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel Crick Hopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The Crick Hopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel Crick Hopper.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Calling all biscuit lovers. Hardee's limited edition blueberry biscuits are the stuff of biscuit dreams. Our famous buttermilk biscuits with summer's favorite berries baked in, served warm, and drizzled with icing. Don't miss your chance to try this special summertime treat while blueberry biscuits are still in season and ripe for the picking. Only at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Order ahead on the Hardee's app. Participation may vary. Exclusions apply by time of day.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials. tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I listen every morning. Great show on the way to work.
Play action. A quick look. This may go for a touchdown for Tremaine Thomas, and he will walk in. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Do you want to watch the Morning Rush, Halftime, even Ruskin and Zach? Find our live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and Twitch. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio.
So we got some text to get to based on our last segment. Again, some fans, certain media members, whatever, squashing hope. We'll jump on that. We got some hog news from yesterday in the terms of recruiting, which Richard Davenport is going to fill us in on as well. Plus, there is a popular restaurant in Northwest Arkansas that is making its way back to NWA, it sounds like. We'll touch on all that coming up.
Brought to you by the Hickey and Hull Law Partners. They have grown over the last several years. 4 locations now around the state that include Mena, that include Little Rock, that include Northwest Arkansas, and, of course, Fort Smith as well. They're 7 decades plus of combined experience with their staff of attorneys means one of them will specialize in whatever the current need you have is, whether it's family law, whether it's a criminal matter, a civil matter. Maybe you have a business closing, but you're trying to purchase a business and the assets that go along with it. The legal advice you might need could be in a variety of areas of the law. Family law, divorce and custody and those kind of battles have been their specialty for a long time, but their staff is so diversified in their skill set that you'll find someone on the staff that can help handle whatever the need is that you have right now. One number to call, whether you're in Benton or Bentonville, whether you're in Fort Smith or Mena, they can handle your needs in your case right away. 479-434-2414 to set up your first appointment. 434-2414 or go to kevinhickeylaw.com.
Daniel in Uniontown chiming in this morning saying Brian is the exact opposite of what Steve Sarkisian had to say about Arkansas fans, that they hate Texas more than they actually like themselves. I think Brian has started to get to the point where he hates Arkansas more than he actually likes himself. Tom, is what
Brian's just calling to stir you up. I mean, that's all Brian wants to do. He's like that kid in 5th grade that he just wanting to get a reaction out of you. So that's all Brian's doing.
Jeremy Clarksville's beef this morning is the fact there's 43 bowl games in college football, and you think it's a success by some team hovering around 500 and getting to one of these. All these bowl games are the dumbest thing in all of sports. Did notice, like yourself, that there were coaches and there were other people that we chatted with last week that were still pushing the bowl games, which they're not going to do it. I'd rather just have postseason games at home.
All due respect, and I mean all due respect, I couldn't disagree more with Jeremy. What does it hurt if you have a bowl game in Memphis or one a week before the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans or any of the other bowl games that simply don't matter? If we're only going to have bowl games of consequence and that matter, a lot of teams are going to be sitting at home and not get the practices. When Coach spoke about those bowl games and getting to one this year and why it's important and he wants more games, not less, it's about the development of players. So, Jeremy, I hear what you're saying, but you know what else it does? And we don't have a bowl game in Arkansas to this level, but you see one in Memphis, obviously right on the border. It's economic revenue. It's tourism. And guess what? It provides all of us maybe something to do, around the New Year holiday, if you choose to do it. It's something on TV. What else would we have on TV between Christmas and New Year's to watch and talk about on many days? So I know what you're saying, that a lot of them are meaningless. Don't disagree with that point.
Mm-hmm.
But if they add 5 more bowl games, I don't care, because it's one more thing for me to watch, and it's an opportunity maybe to go somewhere I've never been before. And for those communities that have one, it fills up their hotels to a certain degree, fills up their restaurants, creates jobs. Mm-hmm. So don't discount all the other things that go along with the bowl game just because your team went 6-6. I don't think that's worth celebrating, but I think the things that do come along with bowl games are.
Have you ever said with all due respect and not proceeded to disagree with someone? When you said that, I was just...
the Talladega Nights part of it, with all due respect, and I've got that video somewhere on my phone, and I mean all due respect, that idea ain't worth a velvet painting of a whale and a dolphin getting it on.
That's an all-time That's an all-time quote. Let's see. Out in Alma cites that they're basing their opinions on this season on what happened last season. And again, you're going in the wrong direction if you're the Arkansas football seasons. 7-6, 4-8. Hopefully there is an upward swing. You just didn't get any luck. And when I mean you didn't get any luck last year, I can cite several examples during the course of the game where Rashad Dubinion would have taken that one to the house against Alabama and slipped on the turf or slipped on the grass, or when Alabama, Jalen Miller was facing like a 3rd and 10, gets hit as he throws the football, goes over the linebacker, under the safety, they complete it, the game ends. The LSU game where even Jaden Daniels getting hit makes just there's just so many examples during the course of these one-score games or single-digit games that you just didn't get that one break you needed. Now, good teams, as you often say, make their own breaks, but when I say you didn't catch a break, I mean 5 losses by single digits last year.
A handful of plays, in each game. So maybe 20 or 25 plays going a different way. And let's just say you win half of those. You had 2 more wins, maybe. I'm not saying you've had a great year at 6-6, and man, that's like reaching the mountaintop, but it changes the perspective of where you're at right now. Mm-hmm. And Sam Pittman's probably not sitting in media days last week talking about, hey, I'm popular for the wrong reasons. That's kind of what he said. I'm on that list, and I'm hot. I'm hot. That was, we played the clip. He's not saying that. Mm-mm. So, I mean, that's how razor thin the margins can be.
And I'm glad he didn't get mad or miffed at that question because, again,
handled it perfectly.
Yeah, that was the proper way to go about it. And I thought he did that as best he could.
And he did that on his own. That question was not, it wasn't set up because the question was really about how the narrative can change. You saw quickly.
You saw the irony in that question, right?
Yeah. Well,
Dennis Dodd, who wrote the column,
was sitting 5 seats up.
Yeah, he asked the previous question about his lake house and something else. Then the other reporter, Chris Hummer of 24/7 Sports, then follows it up. I thought he was going to say, hey, by the way, Dennis has you as the number 1 guy in the hot seat who just asked you this question. What do you think about it? That was the irony in that whole setup.
Generally, media don't want to credit something that their competitor wrote or said because that's not how this business works. But I thought Sam handled that like a pro, like a veteran coach.
Hong Kong Suey says, let fans have hope. You don't need to squash hope every time the head pops up when something bad happens. Again, going back to one of my beefs this morning, that the people or fans that just want to say this season's going to suck without even watching a game or whatever. Billy in Midville says, I know this new college football game has no merit whatsoever, but I've watched some simulations off YouTube, and they're showing Arkansas to be a lot better than what people think. Christian, have you played with Arkansas at all yet? I know the last time we checked in, you hadn't. Have you played with them yet?
Yeah, man. Taylor Green's a difference maker.
Top 10 in speed on the
Makes
game.
their offense.
Are y'all really going to sit here and cite a video game as your source?
It's back.
Dear God.
It's back. It's what we have to do. We'll at some point this morning get into who we'd actually like to play the game with, because Andrew Armstrong and Taylor Green were going at it, and apparently they just had a media day where all the players played.
Hey, the Fitz man, it's the company you can trust. I trusted him to build some gates at my home years ago, and that's where the relationship began. And we have referred and we have promoted and talked about the Fence Man for years now. We trust him. And have you ever had anyone say, man, the Fence Man came and they didn't do a very good job?
Not a one.
Never once. And I wouldn't say, I'm just being honest. I wouldn't tell you that if that was the case. The Fence Man always follows up. I tell you how much I trust him. When my mom needed some help with her fence, there was only one call to make, and that was the Fence Man. 782-3936. If you're going to turn them over to your mom, you better be right. You're going to live with that one for a while. They did a great job for my mom as well. 782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Even though you try to be, Ty, you just can't quite get there.
Well, I just probably can't get there. But you should try either.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
The Razorbacks have won it.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Calling all biscuit lovers. Hardee's limited edition blueberry biscuits are the stuff of biscuit dreams. Our famous buttermilk biscuits with summer's favorite berries baked in, served warm, and drizzled with icing. Don't miss your chance to try this special summertime treat while blueberry biscuits are still in season and ripe for the picking. Only at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Order ahead on the Hardee's app. Participation may vary. Exclusions apply by time of day.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Hey, folks, here at Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway with Grant Neal. Grant, let's talk about pre-owned vehicles.
Well, we've worked hard at trying to source great pre-owned vehicles. It's been very hard. You know, the market's strong, but that helps people because we're giving the best value for trade-ins and the highest value for purchasing vehicles. But we work hard and make sure that we pick the right one. So every vehicle on the lot has been meticulously looked over, cared for, and inspected. So we really have the highest quality possible for all of our vehicles that we have in stock. We try to make sure we've got something for everybody. So if you're shopping for something, you know, certified pre-owned, lightly used, very low miles, we've got it. If you need something that's more of a budget-driven vehicle, we try to find vehicles that are high quality while still maintaining the price points at $10,000 and below, $15,000 and below. So really, we've got a vehicle for everybody here at Rhodes.
And financing's available.
Absolutely. So we work hard to make sure that we can get people approved and get them the best possible financing. A huge selection of banks. We really surprised a lot of people who walk in and say, well, I don't think I can get approved. Well, just give us a shot. We'll do what we can for you.
Come out today, Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Let me take this one. Ty, you're right.
Texas backed up inside its 5, and they fumble the ball on the goal line. It's loose in the end zone. It's either a safety or a touchdown, and it's 6. Touchdown, Arkansas. It's recovered by Tywan Johnson.
The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
All right, we're going to talk with Richard Davenport coming up in just one bit. Some recruiting news. Arkansas is in the tops for a talented player in Malik Thomas, and then also J.J. Andrews, the son of Sean Andrews, class of 2026, point guard, shooting guard, 6'7", lefty, Little Rock Christian Academy. Shout out. He has been re-offered by John Calipari and his staff after first being offered by Muss and his staff. So we'll talk about that coming up in just one bit.
Sean Andrews' name came up in a conversation last night. I was with a couple of guys and just talking about greatest athletes from Arkansas, played at Arkansas. And I threw his name out, you know, and I know he was a lineman, not special teams, but because where it started was our man Matt Jones, and whether or not Matt's the greatest athlete maybe ever to come out of Arkansas.
Matt would tell you Sean is like you're.
But I threw Sean in there. Clyde Scott's got to be in there. Mm-hmm. Clay's coming in at 8. Clay would have a bigger, better perspective on that, but Sean would have to be in there. Jason Peters would be a guy if you just talk about guys that played at Arkansas. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he in circling back to your recruiting point, if he just gets a touch of his dad's athleticism. He's gonna be a great one.
Hopefully, he get to ref him this fall.
Well,
not fall. Sorry, this upcoming winter and spring.
Well, it did last year. In their state championship game. So looking forward to seeing his development. Hey, What's Your Beef Wednesdays brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. What's beefing you? What are you upset about? Whether it's sports or otherwise, you can call or text us with those. We'll take some more of those after we talk with Richard Davenport. But Richard's Country Meat Market has the best selection, quality, and value. You'll find everything you need to put that meat on the grill tonight or this weekend. Go to richardscountrymeatmarket.com or stop by and see him just off College in Fayetteville.
So, Richard, let's start there with JJ. I know he's not this upcoming recruiting class, but the next one. What can you tell us about maybe the excitement level that he's been offered by John Calipari and his staff after Peach Jam?
Yeah, he obviously, you were talking about his dad, and so, I mean, his dad playing at the University of Arkansas, he's always had some fondness for Arkansas, so I think that was definitely something that he was excited about, and being able to play in front of Coach Calipari and Chin Coleman for 3 games over the weekend. He knew the interest was there. They'd been communicating with him, but to finally get that offer after an outstanding Peach Jam, that was very rewarding for him, obviously.
I would imagine, and Cal would be the perfect case study on this, but when you're the child of a pro athlete or both of your parents were high-level athletes, that's got to be like a tiebreaker of any sort because, I mean, you know what you just know the stock they're coming from. So I would imagine you look even closer, but you feel more confident in your analysis of a player when you know how good an athlete their parents were.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. I think you're right. I mean, I think that definitely has to enter the back of your mind when you're evaluating a young man and know that, he does a lot of good things from a physical standpoint. And then his dad was one of the best to ever play at the University of Arkansas and was an all-pro and in the NFL. And his mom played basketball at Western Carolina. So, I think that all that, and then just the type of young man he is also is a huge plus too. So, you get that talent, and you get obviously the backgrounds of his parents, along with high character. I think you got something pretty special.
Yeah, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I don't know the answer. I know Kyle Pennington left Little Rock Christian to go to Bentonville, so I don't know who the new coach is at Little Rock Christian, but he'll at least have a new high school coach he'll be playing for this upcoming season.
Yeah, and they named the coach, and the name escapes me. I apologize. I
didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I just knew that when we were talking him and Christian, there's been some movement around high school basketball.
Well, the sad thing is I've communicated with the coach, and I apologize if he's listening. I just between football and basketball, and other sports that I try to pay attention to. Sometimes I kind of get a little overwhelmed there.
You'd think the one in this conversation that's an alumni from that school would know off the top of his head.
I'm looking right now. I don't.
Clarence Finley?
That's
Is that sound right?
No.
Okay.
No,
I'm
it's
looking.
not quite.
I was looking when you guys were talking.
Sorry
about
to
it.
throw us in that rabbit hole.
Yes, the alumni should know, but he doesn't know.
You'd think the alumnus would know,
As he often doesn't know about other things. So Peach Jam, it wasn't just about J.J. Andrews. I mean, Tommy, you spoke to it earlier. It's one of the most coveted high school basketball type of circuits in the country. I mean, there's talent everywhere. Richard Cowell always making an appearance. I know Malik Thomas is another guy that Arkansas is after, and he just recently listed Arkansas within his top handful of schools.
Yeah, top 6. He was supposed to officially visit Arkansas in June and canceled, but he still plans to make it an official visit. It looks like this fall is going to be a very busy time for Coach Calipari and the staff hosting kids. One thing that I've noticed when just any athlete visits Arkansas, especially during the summer, they enjoy the visit, but they really talk about they'd like to come back and see how it is during school and during the fall and with all the students back on campus and just see the campus life with all the students. And I think that's one of the draws that you have when you have kids come in the fall, especially for football game weekends and stuff like that. It kind of gives them obviously a better idea of campus life and what it's like for a big game and stuff like that. So he'll be coming in the fall and along with several others. You were talking about Peach Jam. I'm just going off the top of my head because I wrote about it. I think there's like around 6, 7, maybe 8 guys, 5 stars that were at Peach Jam that Coach Calipari and the staff was there to see. So that's pretty strong. Usually in the past, if a staff was from Arkansas was looking at guys that Peach Jam or a big event, you might see 2 or 3 5 stars, but not that many.
One of those guys being Darius Acuff, at least at 5-star. I can't remember if he was at Peach Jam or not this weekend. Richard, he has a decision to make on Friday. It's down between the Kansas Jayhawks, the Michigan Wolverines, and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Based on maybe what you've heard, what could Arkansas be expecting some good news late Friday afternoon around 5?
Yeah, I think that's a good possibility. I mean, one of the reasons is that he visited Arkansas obviously in May. He visited Kansas and Michigan last year, so Arkansas is obviously a lot more fresher in his mind, and I think that helps. But and then just the tradition of Coach Calipari and sending guys to the league for is not only all positions, but especially at the guard position. So I think that helps. But we'll see. I mean, you can always have a surprise, but it seems to be trending towards Arkansas.
Let's shift gears and talk some football. A lot of conversation around the 25 and 26 class. There was a Best of Arkansas Sports article that had a quote from Adam Archer, the father of Kane and Cash Archer, that the odds of Arkansas landing the junior to be quarterback services from Greenwood would quadruple, was what the quote said of his brother Cash ended up at Arkansas. What's your thoughts on that? And is Arkansas in a position to offer the defensive end who will be a senior this year at Greenwood a place on next year's roster?
Well, I mean, he's on the radar. I mean, Cash attended camp in June, and they're going to evaluate him this fall. I mean, you're going from defensive end, which that's not going to be his position 9 times out of 10 in college because he's about 6'1", 6'2" at the max. And you don't see too many defensive ends on the Power 5 level or Power 4 level, whatever you want to call it nowadays. But so he's going to be recruited mostly as a linebacker, and that's the case with Arkansas. So they'll evaluate and go from there. Whether or not they offer him, I can't tell you. Only time will tell. But there is interest. How much interest, going forward will probably be determined on how he plays.
Yeah, I know he's been to
linebacker.
And I think my understanding he's going to play linebacker this year at Greenwood, or at least spend some time at linebacker.
Correct.
But he's been to their camp, is my understanding as well. But I've gotten to see him play. You've seen him play. I mean, I think the kid's good enough that if that's what you need to do to stay in the hunt for his brother, I think he's worthy of a scholarship offer, irregardless of those two. I think he's a good enough player to be at that level, and he wants to be. He wants to be there, and that's where he wants to go.
No, I get it. And I'm pro, recruiting the state big time. So I get what you're saying. I do know that Coach Petrino's offered a lot of 2026 quarterbacks, and so it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. So, again, I don't have a strong answer for you either way, other than that they'll continue to evaluate Cash and watch him play this fall and go from there.
And Kane's got an offer from everyone in the country, so I think that whole thing is worth it, and just my opinion. And I think there's others that would come with that group over a 2-year period.
Yeah, he knows quite a few guys throughout the country. Nowadays, kids they go to so many camps, so many 7-on-7, and kids know one another so well. It's kind of like AAU basketball. Everybody knows one another, and that's the same way with Cash and Kane.
So the football coaches are back in the office this week, Richard. I know you were talking about that recently. It did get a commitment from Nigel Pringle, a young man from North Shore, Houston, Texas. 17 right now are already committed. What can you tell us about Pringle, the latest addition to the class of 2025?
6'1", about 6'2", about 180. Officially visited TCU, Louisiana Tech, and Kansas, along with Arkansas. Seems like after I knew he had a great visit at Arkansas from what I gathered, and but obviously he took his time and made his decision just recently. So a great relationship with the coaching staff. Felt very comfortable. When he was on campus. So, and I think obviously playing in the SEC was a big draw too. So, and he's a guy that's been evaluated by only 2 of the recruiting services. He's a 3-star by 2, and the other 2 haven't evaluated him or rated him just yet. I think he's one of those type guys that's still being checked on and evaluated, and you don't truly know how good he's going to be until maybe his senior year when they get some film and evaluate him that way or see him in person. So he's not the only kind of the under the radar type guy that they've gotten in the secondary, but he's a second DB to commit to Arkansas, but a good solid addition, and I think there's a chance his stock may go up later after he plays his senior year.
Richard, last thing, you've been trying new salsas across the state. What is the latest one that you tried recently on your salsa tour?
I find it. Who doesn't like salsa? I mean, good gosh! And so, whenever we go to different places, I always like to try different salsas, especially as far as Mexican restaurants, and then like to when you go shopping or something and find one that you haven't had yet. You like to do that. But the House of Webster, I didn't realize that they were in Rogers. And so I went over there, and they got a little shop right outside the plant, and I got their hottest one, Carolina Reaper, and it had some heat, but it also had some pretty good flavor. So I'm a guy that loves heat, so I like the challenge of eating them, and just seeing how hot they are. And usually when they're really hot, I get the hiccups. I didn't get the hiccups with this.
Yeah, I got a buddy that on a scale of 1 to 10, his is a 9.5 as far as heat. Good flavor, but those Carolina Reapers will kind of drown out some of the flavor. But
oh, really?
You
have to text it to me. I'll have to try to go.
Give it a try.
Well, it's not on. It's only on the shelf in his pantry, so I'll have to get you. I'll have to get you. He makes it with his tomatoes out of his garden. He grows his own peppers. It's good, but it is hot.
Yeah. No, I've had some. I haven't had too many where I've gotten the hiccups. But that's usually the indication, and I can still get the eyes can still water, and the nose can run a little bit here or there with some, and it did with the House of Webster Carolina Reaper, but I didn't hiccup.
All right, I'll bring you some Tums the next time I see you. So.
I'll be ready, man.
All right, Richard Davenport with us. We talk recruiting every Wednesday. RD, we'll talk to you next week.
All right, buddy. We'll see you guys.
All right, good to talk to. Good to talk to Richard. I did not get down to Warren this year, or get my man Andy Hodges to get me a crate of those Bradley County tomatoes. I need to still see if they're available. It's probably all burned up and gone by now. But man, you talk about making great salsa. Those homegrown tomatoes do it.
Right, tomatoes. If you're gonna, like you're saying, start it off. If you don't
tomatoes.
If you don't have the main ingredient, it's going to be lesser than you want.
Well, I mean, canned tomatoes are okay, but homegrown tomatoes are just 10 times better. So, all right, Richard Davenport with us. It's brought to you by our friends at Cart Path Social. We've had great weather to get out and play golf, but like yesterday, Ty, you and I were playing, then a rain shower, a storm hit, can run you inside. It's always great to have a place when the forecast isn't so good, like Cart Path Social, to go play around a golf with your buddies indoors.
Yep. If you see Christian Olsen or Nate Garahan, two of my college friends, one of which was my roommate, make sure you tell them that we sent them your way, or we sent, how do you say that? We sent you their way. There we go. Number one place in Northwest Arkansas for indoor golf in Lowell, Arkansas. One bay can hold up to 8 people. It's just $50 per hour for a bay, and then it's cheaper during the week before 5 o'clock. So take advantage. I know that there's been certain events. 5 News was there the other day. I know that United Bank just held one of their retreats out there. So take advantage of an incredible place in Northwest Arkansas when, like Tommy was saying, it's too hot or it's raining or whatever the case may be. It's BYOB, so you can bring your own food. You can bring your own alcohol, whatever you want to bring in, you can do so. And they have monthly memberships available where you get a 15% clothing discount and a 50% golf discount. CartPassSocial.com, open Monday for Friday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturdays from 7 to 9, and Sundays from 12 to 9. Cart Pass Social, the getting out of the sun, making golf fun. All right, so I've got some good news for people this morning. Tommy, apparently AQ Chicken House is coming back to Springdale. Now, they knocked out the old one, and it's turned into a card wash. But it sounds like the new owners have submitted plans to the city. I think it was Fayetteville Flyer that I was reading.
I saw this yesterday.
They are bringing it back. It's going to have the same recipes, but a modern style of sorts. And you think about a Northwest Arkansas staple, similar like Neil's Cafe, just places that you think of when you think of NWA food. This is one of them. The Fayetteville location closed after, I think, 20 years. This one had been around since like 1947 and closed in 2023, but sounds like they're coming back. It's coming back.
It had been a minute since I've been to AQ Chicken House, and it's a shame that, these restaurants, and I don't know if their situation was different. Just the real estate had changed, and something else made more sense for that land, I guess, or financially made sense to somebody. But it's a shame you have a restaurant that, says, hey, we're closing up, or really any business, and, people that hadn't been there in years, and I'm just as guilty. So I'm pointing the finger back at me. That's when we go. Oh, they're about to go away. They're about to shut down our favorite spot. Well, you hadn't been there in 3 years. Yeah. That's why they're having to shut down. So, that's why we need to support our locals, because we need them around. So when you need a good fried chicken, you can go get you one.
Mm-hmm. And so a couple notes. Like, I know one of my other favorite places in Northwest Arkansas. Grew up going to Lake Atalanta, the swimming pool, and the Rogers. That's where I grew up a lot of times and when I was a kid because of where my grandparents lived. I know that was recently hit by a tornado. Hoping they get back at some point. And then other news in NWA, Tommy, the train bank, the Bank of Fayetteville, longtime bank on Dixon, it's going down. They're putting a hotel there, apparently.
See, another real estate deal.
Yeah, a big one. Apparently, it's like a $4 million property that they had to buy. But you're going to have another hotel. We always talk about hotels in Northwest Arkansas. There's not enough. Well, they're adding one on Dixon Street to help out with that. Help alleviate the fact that there are not enough hotels in NWA.
Well, and I'm sure it will be very affordable to stay right up on Dixon on a game night, on a night before a football game or a football weekend. So.
I have been to that Springdale IQ. I've been to the Fayetteville one. I miss the place I miss in Northwest Arkansas more than anything else is Mama Dean's.
Yes.
That's to me that was
couldn't agree more.
The best restaurant that has ever existed in the state of Arkansas, to be frank. I don't think there's a restaurant that comes close to
I didn't know your name was Frank.
So I think that is the number one spot in
any place you go in and Kool-Aid was an option for a beverage, I'm in.
Is there a place that like you grew up going to that you miss? Like again, I'm hoping Susie Q comes back after the tornado damage. Went to AQ some growing up. Mentioned again Mama Dean's that I loved.
Mama Dean's was in the old Mr. Burger.
Yeah.
There on South College. I mean, Mr. Burger was a staple in Fayetteville for a number of years. Mary Maestry's. Now, I know they tried their old building out in Tawnytown burned down. I don't know, has that been 10 years ago now? But they tried a different concept over there on the other side of 412. Mary Maestry's was great back in the day. Still got Venetian Inn out there. Hadn't been there in a minute. There's a place I need to go.
That and Mama Z's, the two Tawnytown favorites. But yeah, we did Mary Maestry's as well growing up. A lot of these places you went to growing up, and y'all know I'm not that old, but some of them have since closed down in Northwest Arkansas that were staples. It's cool to see that it seems like they're bringing one back.
I tell you, the old one that every one of us went to at some point. You may not have, because it may have been gone by the time you were old enough. Is the Ozark Mountain Smokehouse. You'd go up Old 71, you'd stop there and you'd build you a sandwich and they'd weigh it. Then they'd charge you. I remember, man, if you put too much on there as a kid, man, that sandwich run up there about $4 or $5, Dad'd be on you, about putting too much stuff on it. But you'd make your own. If it's a sandwich bar, essentially.
I've seen that.
About good.
I've seen that. I never went.
Oh, God, when they opened 49. 25 years. Well, it's 99, I guess, when they opened the first section.
Yeah.
A little after that. So it's been 22 years. That thing, wasn't long after that the one on Old 71 was gone. And then I think that building burned down 4 or 5 years ago. It was something else. But there were several of those around the state. I missed the Ozark Mountain Smokehouse.
We, what did we take in? I think it's Burles. Burles is right by Lake Ouachita, right, Tom? And that's kind of the similar concept where you have the meat and then you load it up.
Well, but not the same as Burles, though. I mean, you don't build your own sandwich at Burles. They'll make one for you.
But this one you do yourself and then they charge it for you.
Then they weigh it and that's what it costs.
I gotcha. Let's see. Hog Wild says the Lighthouse Inn in Fort Smith.
Been there a bunch.
Apparently it's coming back.
It was right there on the river at the Midland Bridge.
Justin in Springdale says Coy's place. You ever been to Coy's place?
In Hot Springs.
Okay.
I know that was coming back too.
Okay. There's a couple ones. Well, hopefully.
If we're going to talk about the Lighthouse at the Midland Bridge in Fort Smith, you got to go up the road at Kelly and Midland and get Tommy's back.
Okay. There's a couple ones that they're going down memory lane with old landmarks here across the state of Arkansas.
It's a What's Your Beef Wednesday. What's bothering you? Here's my big question. What's going on the grill tonight? Whatever it is, you'll find only the best at Richard's Country Meat Market. From the aroma of steak to perfectly flavored gourmet burgers, fresh kebabs on the grill, this summer will be a feast for the senses. Richard's Country Meat Market, just off College in Fayetteville and online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
All right, we're going to chat with the head of Fort Smith Athletic Public Schools, Michael Beaumont, when we return on the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back, plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors, or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals at WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crickhopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crickhopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crickhopper.
This is The Morning Rush.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with the exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
The good old summertime is here, and Jelco Outdoors is ready to help you have a great time. Going fishing? Jelco has one of the largest selections of fishing equipment and gear for your day on the water. Taking a vacation? Jelco has a great selection of casual shirts, shorts, and comfortable shoes to make your vacation one to remember. Fall is not far away, so start getting your bows and guns ready for fall. Jelco Outdoors, your store for all season. Have a great summer from Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a little bit of patchy fog to start, otherwise sunshine. Our high this afternoon into the mid to upper 80s. Could see some scattered showers across the south. Mainly clear north tonight, mid 60s. We'll see some showers and thunders from south, overnight lows closer to 70 degrees. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell. Ready to serve.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 36 days.
This hour of the Morning Rush is driven by Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale and online at rathmitsubishi.com. You're rolling with Rath on the Morning Rush.
Roads? Well, we're going, we don't need roads.
As we've seen over the course of my lifetime, your lifetime, preseason predictions are not always indicative of what happens in the actual year.
Rarely are they. You look at the record of media days and predicting champions, and the record's not great for the media in predicting always just the SEC champion. And it's going to get harder as leagues get bigger. And now you don't have divisions. And, I mean, I think it makes the predictions even more difficult. Not enough focus is put on personnel. Not enough focus is put on, and I think that's harder to do now because of NIL. And I think last year, this is just my opinion, some of the NIL stuff and some of the things that, we saw going on around the team, I don't think it was the only reason, but it was part of the reason why maybe the team didn't live up to expectations. We heard about trouble in the locker room, and there was clearly trouble between the offensive coordinator and Dan Enos, the quarterback, and that offensive system that led to a midseason change. I think the season never got on track offensively in particular, and this year you got to be more hopeful.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me rephrase that. You got two gentlemen. You got one ain't earned it yet, has he?
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's
Hey, welcome back into hour number 2 of the Morning Rush on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. Kind of a beef of mine this morning is what we talked about there yesterday, preseason predictions, and kind of honing in on the particular beef is that certain fans, media members, Twitter trolls, whatever, have already just made it a point to talk about how bad Arkansas is going to be there this year. Sam Pittman's going to get fired. The season's going to suck. There's no point to watch, listen, take in any of Arkansas football. None of us actually know what's going to happen. Not Sam Pittman, not any of the staff, not any of the players. But people seem to, again, want to be as negative as possible. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when we chat with Michael Beaumont, the Director of Athletics for Fort Smith Public Schools, coming up in just a bit. Big announcement heading this way on this radio station that was made yesterday, Tommy.
Yep. If you follow Division II sports in our state, particularly basketball, we're going to be telling you about plans for the upcoming Great American Conference basketball tournament that's moving to Fort Smith. We'll do that in just a second. Brought to you by APAC Arcola. They have immediate openings in Boone, Marion, Baxter, Benton, Washington counties, and areas beyond. Go to jobs.crh.com. If you've got experience with concrete or asphalt, they have a job for you. Licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operators, concrete finishers, the list goes on and on. Find that list, find out where your skills best fit, top pay, great benefits, retirement, and profit sharing. That's jobs.crh.com. Michael Beaumont is the Director of Athletics in Fort Smith. He's in studio with us now. He also, for those who have been around the Arkansas program, you were with Houston Nutt on his staff back in the McFadden days. Where else you been? Ole Miss, Tennessee.
Yeah,
so
Ole Miss after that.
you've made the rounds. Hey, big press conference yesterday, and I know whether wherever you're listening in Arkansas, we got people listening in Camden and Fordyce and South Arkansas that are near UAM and near Monticello and those schools and probably have an allegiance or a tie to one or the other. We got people listening in Hot Springs and Arkadelphia with Ouachita Baptist and with Henderson just across the ravine. We've got people in White County near Harding. I mean, there are some great schools in Arkansas that play Division II basketball. Will Pruitt is the commissioner in that league. There's great schools in Oklahoma, and Fort Smith being on the border makes perfect sense. And you guys have made an arrangement with the Great American Conference to host their postseason basketball tournament in your arenas.
You know, for us back in November, if you remember, Tommy, we hosted a little conference challenge between the MIAAA and the Great American. Dennis Nutt, who's coaching down at Ouachita, Dennis and I have a little relationship, and I thought, how great would it be to have 4 teams come in and play a little college basketball in Fort Smith, and so that was our opportunity to show off. Now, I knew that they were going to be looking and shopping, so we were trying to put our best foot forward, showing off our beautiful arenas that we have. And lo and behold, they made the choice a couple of weeks ago to have Fort Smith host their postseason tournament for girls and boys in 24 and 25.
I believe, because I've had the privilege of working in that conference since it began, but I believe this is the first time they've ever had their postseason basketball tournament in the state of Arkansas. I believe that it's been in Bartlesville. It's been in Shawnee recently. But I believe this. I may be corrected on this. I think it's the first time it's ever occurred in Arkansas.
I knew the past 2 rotations, like you said, Bartlesville and Shawnee was where it had been, at least in the present time. But geographically, Fort Smith is perfect for that conference. So I think it just works out for everybody. Now, for the community, yesterday, I don't know if you had a chance to see some of the information put out by the Visitors Bureau, which, by the way, Ashley and her team were so great to help also make this happen. But we're looking at about a $1.1 million impact to the community for a week.
Well, and for our listeners in these other places I talked about, whether you're in Searcy or you're in Arkadelphia or you're in Monticello or Magnolia, whether you're at Arkansas Tech just down the road in Russellville, I think I've got all of them in the state that are in the Arkansas side of the GAC. How much better and more convenient? Maybe there's years you'd like to have gone and watched your teams, boys or girls, because you're going to have both the men and women there. Man, it makes it so much easier for people listening all across the state to us this morning to get to the conference tournament now.
No, it's a perfect place to host, and you guys have been to our venues. We've got great seating. Every seat is great in our arena, and you got a little courtside seating action, and all of our fans can come take part and see some great basketball in March.
Yeah, I mean, you got the video board, so I mean, it's a good experience in both North Side and South Side. So you'll have both the men and women at Southside this first year in March.
Right.
Then the following, this is a 2-year agreement. Then the following year, it will just move across town to Northside's campus.
Yes, sir. We want to show off both arenas. Both of them are unique. They both have the same number of seats, but there's just a different feel in each one, and that was by design. Northside, a little older feel campus. If you look on the outside of that arena, it kind of matches the rest of the campus. Southside's a little more modern look to it, but that's also it's a newer school, so it's a great venue on both sides of town.
It's fun to watch games. I took in the both North Side and South Side rivalry games last year. It's the first time I've watched a basketball game in both those arenas, and they're both great games. I mean, I think they both got overtime.
Both went to overtime, and then each of them, they split this year. So for the AD of both schools, they go 1-1. It's a great season right there.
So. High school football season coming up. I know Northside and Southside are going to be in different conferences for the first time. They'll play week 0, but gosh, we're what, 31 days, 32 days, depending. I guess it's the 29th and the 30th is when a lot of games will get underway week 0.
Yeah, for us it'll be the 30th, and so that Friday night, the last Friday night in August, right before Labor Day, will be the big Northside Southside game. And so if you have, I know you've said you attended some basketball games, you go to that football game. Not only will the officiating is really, really normally really good,
except when I'm there,
and then the atmosphere for that one. I mean, it's just an event. It is, and we try to blow it up as much as we can. You guys know, since my tenure here and our staff, the administration, we try to make it something special. We've had parachutists bring in the game ball. We had a helicopter last year. We had the big parade for Coach Rowland. So this year won't be anything different. Got lots of big plans, but I'm going to hold on divulging all of that right now.
I love college rivalries, and there's nothing like watching an Iron Bowl or Michigan, Ohio State. We think about Northwest Arkansas. You think about Fayetteville, Springdale back in the day, and it was Fayetteville, Bentonville. It turned into, for me, it was always Little Rock Christian, Pulaski Academy. But I've got friends that went to both schools. Since I moved here, it's been awesome to with this week when that week comes about. They're at each other's throats, man.
You think you got and they don't all happen week 0 like this one will, but Bentonville West is a new one. Springdale, Fayetteville, the old Purple Dogs against the Red Dogs. I mean, I just think about all the ones Prairie Grove and Farmington. I mean, you can go up and down the I-49 corridor alone
too, Tommy.
Oh,
the smaller schools are like the epic ones that like both towns leave for whatever they're doing for the day. It is listen, there's something to be said about a college football rivalry Saturday, but when you get going on Friday nights, particularly in, like you said, week 0, it's a lot of fun, man.
For me, and I've had the opportunity, that Thanksgiving is what it used to be. Thanksgiving in Little Rock versus LSU that's just so exciting. And I didn't realize how much it was the Egg Bowl, Mississippi State versus Ole Miss. Great atmosphere. But that 0 week, north side, south side, that's a lot of fun now. It's exciting.
So, all right, let's circle back. Great American Conference basketball tournament coming to Fort Smith for the next 2 years. I know it's early in the process. I'm sure you'll need volunteers and community sponsors and other things. If someone's hearing this for the first time or read about it yesterday and hearing you this morning, and they want to get their business involved or get themselves involved to help you put this event on, what should they do next?
Yeah, at this point, we've got it out there, so now everybody needs to start getting excited. But you're right. All of these teams that are going to come in, these fans, they're going to need to eat somewhere. They're going to need to stay somewhere. They're going to need to shop somewhere. And so we need the community to really get behind this event to make it special, not only for these kids, but special for just Fort Smith. We want to show off everything that we have to offer, and I don't want to make this a 2-year deal. I want to make this a forever deal. And so for that to happen, we need to have the community involved.
And the best way to do that is to have a nearly full arena, particularly in the evening games. Because I know the games will be up in the day, but man, a great crowd would go a long ways to making this a longer-term deal.
And we're looking at offering package deals. If there's businesses in the community that want to, hey, I need 10 tickets for my employees for the tournament, how can I make that happen? We can always work something out to make it advantageous for you and your employees to come out and support all of these kids.
Tommy referenced your background with Coach Nutt. We hear stories from our buddy Matt Jones on halftime every day. Do you have a specific Coach Nutt story that I think our audience would be like to hear this morning?
Let me tell you, being around Houston, the persona that you guys see on TV and the recruiting talks that you all hear about and how he is, that is that guy 24 hours every single day of the week. And he's just that energy and that excitement and that bouncing around, that infectious, that's him all the time. And he never, I don't ever remember a time of him ever cussing or getting upset or but he makes you feel like that you have let him down as if your dad, I had made a mistake on a recruiting weekend and I got called in on the carpet and he's looking at me and he's like, boy, Mike, I got to tell you now.
You said just like,
I got to tell you, not only now did you let me down on this, now that's your name. That's all you have. And now people are going to think of you. I don't know if this can be fixed. Now, I don't want this to happen again. I'm like, Coach, I will not. You walk out of there feeling so small and thinking, man, I just let my dad down. I'll never let that happen again. And so he's great to be around. I'll never work for another person like him. And he's just, I was blessed for him to take a chance on me. I'm a high school coach that he brought onto his staff, and I'll never forget that.
What you just did goes in the all-time morning rush along with Tommy's Frank Broyles impersonation. And
I can't do Broyles as well as he just did Houston.
Ruskin's Stephen A. Smith from time to time. That was, like you said, Tommy, that sounded exactly like Coach
I will
Nutt
tell
there.
you, and Houston loves his hoops because, when I've had the privilege of going to Washington, there's not many Saturdays I've been there where he hasn't been there watching his brother's team play. Even when he lived in Dallas, he'd come up to Arkansas. He loves his hoops, and wouldn't surprise me at all for him to make the short trip now that he's in Northwest Arkansas and watch some of these games.
If there's any camp coaches out there that's ever worked for Coach Nutt during football camps in his tenure at Arkansas, they know that after camp is over and we would put all the campers to bed, hey, Mike, go get the lights on now. We got to play ball tonight. And he takes the camp coaches, and we would go into the arena and play basketball. Men, we'd play basketball until 2 in the morning. We're dragging, waking up, trying to get all the kids up, get breakfast. We get to camp. As soon as you get out on the field, he's bouncing around, pointing. He's going nuts. I'm thinking, this guy just played basketball all night long. And the very next day, Mike, don't forget now, we got to play ball tonight. I said, okay, Coach, we're ready. We're ready.
Ice bath's coming. I do have one question,
Yes,
Mike,
sir.
before we let go. That orange drink you walked in with, I've been kind of staring at it since you walked. What is that?
I had a little Chaffee Nutrition tea on the way in this morning, so it's a little caffeine kick.
Yeah. Hey, well, one of the things we'll be doing soon is our Hardee's football trip of a lifetime and the burger eating contest, which Northside, Southside, Van Buren, Alma, Greenwood all participate and compete against each other. So that's going to be coming up August the 24th. We'll be giving you more details on that, but be sure and qualify for the football trip of a lifetime. Hardee's has been a great supporter of Fort Smith Schools, and they'll be doing the football trip of a lifetime, and we'll be giving you details on that. Looking forward to seeing Northside and Southside after that. Mike, thanks for stopping by, and let's do it again as we get closer to the tournament and things kind of really start coming together and putting this thing on.
Yes, sir. Be glad to. Thank you all so much.
Mike Beaumont, Director of Athletics in Fort Smith Schools, been around a long time, and the Great American Conference men's and women's basketball tournament time coming to Fort Smith.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We got something to look forward to. I played in those gyms. You've reffed in those gyms. Let me tell you, when you transition from one of the smaller gyms trying to play in one of the big high school ones, Tommy, it's a little different. I will give you credit. You're in better shape than I realized when I have to play up and down pickup in those gyms. It's quite different.
Got to get moving.
Yeah. Gotta get skirting on that. All right, we're going to talk to Clay Henry coming up in just a bit. It's got a great column on hitthatline.com. Plus, Conor Nolan joins us in 45 minutes. It's the Morning Rush on a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is former Arkansas Razorback, JJ Meadows, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coat.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
What's new at Wheeler Power Sports? Short answer, a lot. All new Kawasaki Ninja 500, Z500, Eliminators, and Mule Pro Diesels. New Kawasaki Ridge side-by-side is now arriving. New Polaris Expeditions and Ranger XD 1500s. New Suzuki GSX 8R. New 2024 model Polaris Slingshots, including the Roush Edition, are now in stock. Check us out online at WheelerPowersports.com or stop by and see us at downtown Fort Smith at 901 North 11th Street. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. It's time for the Morning Rush Daily Question.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess.
I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The corporal will wait for an answer.
All right, time for our Morning Rush Daily Question. We touched on this earlier, and we have gotten an explosion of text about, and Clay Henry joins the conversation now. Clay, AQ Chicken House is coming back. There was an announcement yesterday, and we were just talking about old restaurants and local yokels that have gone by the just gone by the wayside over the years. If you could bring one back from your childhood or your early adult years, that man, if I could have one more meal in that place, what would that place be?
You ready for me?
Yeah.
The Shack in Little Rock. It was kind of midtown, first barbecue place. It's the first place I ever took a date. It was a break the ice meal for lunch, and it was that was my mom's favorite. I can remember going and eating in the car, like a drive-in type deal. But you could go in and sit down, and they put slaw on the barbecue. I never had it like that. Really, I guess Craig's Duval's they do that, but it's just not something that's done. You can get slaw and put it on your barbecue, but it doesn't come like that. But it did there.
Let me give you another Little Rock one that my dad took me to a few times, and it's been gone for 15 or more years now. Sirloin's Inn. I think it was in North Little Rock, not Little Rock, but North Sirloin's Inn. Man, they'd bring that bread out there that was drowned in butter. They'd cut you one of them steaks. You go to that salad bar and get them little shrimp on there. I'd stand in line for a while for another meal, Clay, at Sirloin's Inn.
So that's where, I know when my brother was sports information director, that's where he took, you played 3 or 4 Little Rock games, and they'd be visiting media from Texas. The Friday night meal that the sports information staff, excuse me.
Yeah.
Would sponsor.
Bless you.
That's where they took the media.
Yeah, always good.
That was a little bit pricey for me in its heyday. I just I've got, I would go to the Black Angus on Markham and get a platter,
dude,
with a flame-kissed burger, and the Minuteman downtown.
Yeah,
Clay, I know we've
radar range pies.
Yeah. I know I think we've chatted about this. My parents moved really close to where your old house used to be. It's maybe a quarter mile, or maybe half a mile from Black Angus. So that is a restaurant that is still intact. Another
That's
one.
a good Pulaski Heights neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
B in Clarksville says Casa Bonita.
Absolutely. Let's raise the flag.
And the treasure trove.
Oh, I got stories there.
Yeah.
So that's where Gene Ann and I took our first date.
Oh, you got
Casa Bonita?
A couple first dates. Did
you raise the flag?
Yep.
Yep.
Raise the flag.
Help me know. Help explain for
little
those that don't know where that is, Tommy.
Wolf guy dressed up, or a mouse guy in a little suit ran around.
Yeah. Where was I went to the one in Tulsa. I don't know where the one was was there one in Little Rock?
It's out at University and Asher out that direction.
They've been gone for years.
It was next to the, what they call it, the 180 Cinema or something. I don't know. So, the cinnamon around, which, that was like, oh my gosh.
David Gentry says the Butcher Block in Fayetteville. A couple other texts.
Yeah, that's a good one. Coy Steakhouse in Fayetteville.
That was one that was mentioned. That's a good one, Clay. Ponchos from Caleb in Batesville. The Old Feed House in Fort Smith.
Mhm.
You ever go there, Tommy?
Yep. Okay. Catfish and chicken joint.
Still to me.
The Red Barn in Fort Smith is one that Trey texted in. The Red Barn was it was really neat because it was an old horse barn that was set up like that, and you'd eat in stalls. So your table was it was kind of private dining in the stalls. It was a really neat place.
There was a place I frequented,
off the beaten path kind of place
in school called Burrito Loco that had dollar beers and dollar tacos on Thursdays. But I
think I would stay away from there.
It was pretty good, man. It's pretty good. All right, so that is, again, our Morning Rush daily question. A place across Arkansas that maybe once was and no longer is. To me, Mama Dean's will always be number one on that list, and it will never be surpassed.
All right, that's your Morning Rush daily question, brought to you today by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72, off of I-49 in Springdale. Great brands like Grand Design, Forest River. They've got Brinkley's, and they're bringing the Brinkley's early 25 to Fort Smith. You'll be able to buy them south of the tunnel. But stop in to see Lee J. Chris and their crew at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72, off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
Clay, I know you've been asked about Pole Assassin before. There is an update on her, and we'll tell you about that coming up. But I do want to start with your column this morning. If you haven't read Clay's column, it's on hitthatline.com, as is his columns each and every time he posts. We really appreciate now him being a part of our website. Clay, you touched on a couple things in this column, and we haven't talked a ton of defense thus far. Some of the pieces you talked about were on the back end. I know that Danico Slaughter they brought in from Tennessee. Jalen Braxton's going into year 2, highest recruited player last year that played and had some impact, especially in Gainesville. I know there's question about linebackers, but what have you maybe seen from the secondary in spring practice and get you excited for what they could be in 24?
Well, they're guys that have played somewhere, maybe not all Arkansas, but they have a lot of experience, and they also are in year 2 with the same defensive back coach, same defensive coordinator. They just didn't make any mistakes, and they made it tough on the offense. I'm not saying the offense didn't move the ball, because they did. But it was when you saw Hudson Clark, and he's getting people lined up right every time, and it's just a really solid back end, and their ability to cover on the outside is improved. Sam Pittman spoke on that at SEC Media Day, that they can cover a little better. I think the question was, will you blitz more? Because Travis is known as an aggressive defensive play caller. He goes, you have to cover, and we think we're better at cornerback. So that could lead to more, say, cover 0, where you're just like, everybody's going to get a man, and then the other 7 are coming.
We all know that Taylon's getting the headset on offense. Is Hudson going to be the one that gets that on defense?
I don't know. They haven't really said that. I think that's been the speculation, and that'll be something that will be asked about first week of August camp, and we'll see if the coaches. This is their first week back from vacation, and those are kind of things they're hammering out. And but Hudson Clark would be one of my choices, because he's fifth, sixth year. I don't know how many years he's been here. It's forever, but he's played right away as a true walk-on, and he knows it. And if you're playing at free safety, you're the quarterback back there. So it be him. And I'm not sure that any of the linebackers are going to be on the field the whole time. Yeah. So that might be why you go with Hudson Clark. If you had, say, Grant Morgan that you knew were going to play 85% of the snaps or a bumper pool, you'd say that guy. But they don't. I think they're going to rotate linebackers because I think they're pretty good there.
You're spot on, because I asked Landon Jackson that question last week at Media Days, and he said it would be someone in the secondary, and he mentioned Hudson Clark directly by name because they don't want someone on the front line because it's too hard to communicate with the back end. And exactly what you said about linebackers is what Landon said. The rotation is going to be too much at linebacker to really put it with one of those. So expect one of the guys in the secondary in the middle of the field to be tabbed with that duty. So your analysis
the guys
is
in
right
the front
on.
Seven are gonna rotate. That's fine. If you can't rotate up there, you're going to have trouble in the SEC. And I think they've got enough depth to rotate linebackers. Although I really like Brad Spence and Xavier Sorey. I mean, I think Sorey is a perfect example of how good Georgie is. He's a 5-star that couldn't get on the field. He is just like Drew Sanders. He's an immediate starter when he walked on this campus. And that, I mean, the depth of the linebacker position at Georgia, I mean, they've picked who they wanted and got them year after year.
Yep. And Clay Henry with us here talking some football. In your column, you talked about reasons to be optimistic. Let's go back to the offensive side. You spent some time recently with Coach Petrino. What did you take away from that? Because, I'm not sitting here saying you're writing an idea of a 10-win season, but
because I didn't, yeah,
because you didn't, but you're more optimistic than I think some listening this morning are.
Here's how I would put it. I think that they fixed a lot of their problems, and that's what I think I wrote that. And just going through whether it's coaching, whether it's leadership, and Bobby spoke on leadership to me, picked out. By the way, this is stuff that you can read at Hogs Plus, in the player-by-player evaluations for the offensive side are there today. I think they're rolling out a little bit. They call it their preseason magazine, and I wrote, I might have wrote 18,000 words when you figure all this stuff out. But they're better at tackle, both sides. They're better. They're different at center. They're more physical. They're bigger. They're bigger across the offensive line, and that's where I would start it. The depth at running back and the ability to run inside. And if you can run inside, then the linebackers, they're in a bind because they can't cover the tight end. You play action and the tight end is open because those linebackers got to play the inside run. Same thing with the safety. If he's down in the box all at once, you're different. But everybody thinks it starts with the passing game. No, it starts with that running game in the SEC. If you can't run it, then you can't throw it because they're gonna make it tough in the back end by with the amount of coverage that's going to be there. So that's what I saw in the spring, a more physical mindset all the way across. And I think Bobby Petrino, his middle name is toughness.
Yeah. So who stood out at running back? Was it Jaquinton Jackson or was it DeBinion?
Well, first of all, he said that those two are like co-starters. Depending on what play is first, a different guy may start every week, and that they're winning players in the SEC. But also, the depth at running back might be the strength of this team, and it better be because running backs get hurt, and we saw it last year. I think they like Braylon Russell, the freshman. He has the ability to catch it. And catch it in vertical situations with his hands up above his body. Most young players, especially running backs, they want to just kind of cradle it into their midsection. This guy will go get it, high point it. And it just kind of, when Bobby started talking, I immediately thought of Ronnie Wingo in the wheel route. That's a play. And if he's out there, he's probably going to be locked up man-to-man with the middle linebacker. And if he can run, and they say he can at way over 250. I mean, he might be 260, but he's not. He's not heavy in the way he moves for that weight. He's a load. But they've got the ability to run inside. And then there's two more that, Bobby Petrino started comparing to Dennis Johnson. Really, top end elite speed, the 10-4. You don't see running backs 10-4, because they're heavier in the SEC.
Rodney
400 meters is
Hill and Reed. That's Rodney Hill and Tyrell Reed, if I remember that right.
Yep.
Another thing you spoke with Coach Petrino about, Clay, was the wide receivers, and I think he said there's 10 guys that he feel like can play 5 or starters, if I remember that correctly, and he compared, was it Satania to Jarius Wright, or was it
correct?
Okay, yeah,
and he's like, I said, would you say that? And he goes, same skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
He said, now he's got to go prove it like Jarius did. And Jarius, he did it game after game after game. But Satania made plays in the spring, and he made plays after the catch. He has that kind of turn up the field quickness after he gets the ball. And I think they've got other guys at wide receiver. I think he named 4 that he thought were 10-3, 10-4 guys. Mm-hmm. He says some of them just now getting there, but he really likes C.J. Brown.
Yep.
Thinks the summer's going to help him. True freshman from Bentonville. When I was enthused listening to him talk about the two deep and what they have. Even on the second team on the offensive line, I think they're improved in a lot of ways. Again, the thing you have to temper all that is because of the portal, there's no teams that take a step back in the SEC each year. You lose players, you can go get 20, 30, 40 like Arkansas did, and you can change your roster.
Yeah. It's 7:35 here on the Morning Rush. We're brought to you by Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. 25 locations around our state. If you're thinking about remodeling or sprucing up your home, Farm Credit's there with all the financing options you need. Visit myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com, or stop in and see them at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. They've got locations near you, and get started on building more family memories.
I've been looking forward to this moment, talking to Clay Henry about pole assassin. Did you remember?
I remember this story.
The pole assassin. Well, it's added another layer.
Oh.
Special teams coach for Texas, Jeff Banks, has gotten married to pole assassin. Danny Thomas is her actual name. Now, for those that don't remember, or maybe the first time you're hearing this story, there was a trick-or-treat incident that may or may not have resulted in a lawsuit where pole assassin, a.k.a. Danny Thomas, who I think all of you can assume what she has done in her career.
Her career path.
Yeah, her career
led
path.
to that nickname.
She's a dancer.
Yeah, she's a dancer. She had an emotional support monkey that supposedly bit a trick-or-treater, and that was a huge incident back 3 years ago in 2021. And now they have gotten married as of this weekend. Brett McMurphy, the Action Network, shared a picture of their wedding this past weekend. So Texas coach back in the headlines, marrying pole assassin. It's not really a surprise, is it, Clay?
Oh, I thought you meant the trick-or-treater married her.
No, not the trick-or-treater probably wanted to, but no.
Would that be a trick or a treat?
Yeah.
Probably a trick.
Like
probably
the monkey's out, I'm in.
Yeah, but that is what's happening in Austin, Texas this weekend. They actually, I watched some College Game Day clips. Reese Davis referred to that a couple times during the midst of the season, but I would guess that reference is going to come back up.
It's
once
never
or twice.
going away.
Yeah, never. Yeah. It's going to come back up during Texas's football season.
It's like Danny Ford saying somebody's a scientific rocket. That ain't ever going away.
It stays with you. So whenever there's a blunder within Texas's special teams this year, which there will be, as there was in Fayetteville in 2021 when Cameron Dicker got his kick blocked by young Juracek, that will
somebody's going to be an assassin.
Someone will be from time to time. You can't make that story up. Like you read that and you're like, there's no way this is true, and yet it is.
All right, so What's Your Beef Wednesday. We're going to find out what has ticked Clay off over the course of the week. We'll do that coming up. Plus, Conor Nolan will be along at 8 o'clock, and we'll talk to him about his recent promotion to the AAA club in Des Moines, Iowa, with the Chicago Cubs. What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richards Country Meat Market. Find them online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com. The best selection, quality, and value is always at Richards
Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Hey, Gaston's White River Resort. Clay, I know the fishing's been good on the White River, and hey, if you're going to go anywhere and stay anywhere, Gaston's is the place you should go. Great views from all of their 80 private cabins and lodges that overlook the White River. Wonderful restaurant on property, or most of their cabins come with kitchens that you can cook. That's one thing that you like to do to relax and enjoy time with your family. You can do that, or put all that away. Don't worry about any of it, and let their staff take care of you and your family 3 meals a day in their restaurant that overlooks the White River. 870-431-5202. The best fishing probably in North America is at Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Clint Sterner, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
It started as a dream, and here you are. It's moving day. But wait, isn't moving supposed to be stressful? Oh, that's right. You bought your home using Weichert Realtors. Your Weichert agent guided you from start to finish to help make sure we found you your perfect place. Dream, move, home, Weichert. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today and make your move. And look for our bright yellow signs. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
All the road hogs have the hog calls and the tailgate ready to roll.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Yeah, it seems like every time Andrew Benintendi hits a home run, the Chicago White Sox still end up losing, which is exactly what he did yesterday and with the solo shot.
1-2. This one is tagged going back in right. And Benintendi, a solo home run in his ninth inning, his 8th home run of the season. And the Sox not done just yet.
Again, they fall 3-2 to the Texas Rangers. They are 27-76 on the year, but it is good to see Andrew Benintendi, Clay, still hitting bombs even in the majors.
When he stays healthy, then he's on the field and he's productive. I mean, he's, we were talking yesterday with Matt Jones. He had this ESPN's top 100 athletes, and it was like, okay, who would be your top athletes across all sports at Arkansas? And Benintendi would be there. His ability was unbelievable. I just talk about hands, quickness, bat speed. When I did research when he was a true freshman and talked to his high school coach, he was Class 3A Ohio Basketball Player of the Year. Just think about how many players there are in that state. So I mean, his athletic ability. We watch baseball players and we don't sometimes understand, how good they were. Then you start checking. It's like, well, they led their team as a point guard in basketball. They won the slam dunk contest in basketball, like Jackson Wiggins, and then you think about these guys. That they played quarterback or they played tailback. They were wide receivers, in a Class 7A school or so. It's like they're incredible athletes, and we just don't understand because we kind of focus on the skill, not the athletic ability. But these guys, major league players, they are extremely athletic.
Yeah, it's not just baseball, the sport that we can play.
No, they played them all.
Speaking of athletes, Tommy, you brought up a good question earlier. Former Arkansans that ended up being Arkansas Razorbacks that weren't just athletic in their own sport. Sean Andrews' son, JJ, has been reoffered by John Calipari, class of 2026 guard. And Sean would be one of those guys that kind of fits in that category of
unbelievable athlete.
Yeah, it wasn't just football, it was basketball, as was Jason Peters. And that's what Matt Jones always talked about.
One of the best. I mean, I was having a conversation with some guys, and Matt Jones' name came up because they knew we all worked together, and and said Matt might be one of the greatest athletes to ever come out of Arkansas, and that's hard to argue. And I threw a name like Clyde Scott in there, and Sean Andrews quickly came up in the conversation. And Clay, you could provide more historical perspective, but Matt and Clyde are probably two of the first ones that, at least in football, basketball, those sports that come to mind.
My father told me once, and we were talking about the all-time great players in Arkansas, and this was about an hour and a half conversation. Then I tried to tape, and my battery went dead on my little cassette recorder. We were driving to Alabama. It was really late in his life, and he couldn't fly anymore, so we drove. He's dealing with chemo for pancreatic cancer, and he started talking about the Arkansas football players that he would pay to watch. Clyde Scott was one, and Lance Allworth was another. McFadden would have been one too. He didn't. That was after his time. But it's just, when you talk about athletic ability, Matt Jones, Quinn Grovey, Darren McFadden. I thought Peyton Hillis was a great athlete, not in burst of speed, but his all-around ability, vision, hands, footwork, ability. And then there's Wayne Harris, the thumper, who played middle linebacker, in the late 50s. That's a guy that would play probably free safety now, but he played a long time, was an all-star in Canada. And we leave Wayne, the thumper, we leave him out of conversation sometimes. But as far as foot speed and quickness, an inside linebacker, I mean, it's like you go back and you look at the number of tackles that he made, and then understand that the games were shorter then because the clock didn't stop, and it was a lot of running plays, and he made every play in an explosive collisions, like just hits and hits. Tommy, you've laid out the right names.
Yeah, Barry Lunny would be another one I'd add to that list too.
All right, that is your hog update this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Junior.
I'm going to guess junior.
Yeah.
But I don't
think he saw senior.
I was going to say, I know senior.
My dad played with senior.
Heck of a coach. What did he play in high school?
I think he played. He played for the Razorbacks. I think he played as an offensive lineman. But he's.
I think maybe his grandfather was. His dad was a quarterback. His grandfather
played.
Yeah, his grandfather played. His dad, I think, went over to Northeastern. He was a quarterback, but played on Coach Stansel's teams at Northside back in the late '60s.
We forget sometimes. It's a different time and different era, and you didn't have black athletes on the field. That was it's. But it is interesting to go back and try to compare eras. It's hard to do, though.
Yeah, that's why debates will never end in sports, because you have, again, it's hard to put apples to oranges for something 50 years ago compared to nowadays, even like 20, 25 years ago when it comes to the greatest of all time debate in basketball.
My dad was on the Arkansas high school super team as an offensive lineman, 5'10", 210 pounds. In 1970, yeah, I mean, and he was considered a big guy back then. Yeah, so I mean, just 5'10", 210 wouldn't get you started today.
That is a different era, no question about it. Well, you bring up family lineage with the Lunnies. You mentioned your dad, Tommy. There is somewhat of a lineage here in the state of Arkansas with the Rath family. Larry at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, and David at Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. And when it comes to pop culture and trivia like that, there's no one does it better than David. He's got something with just always going on in the sense of if you ask him a question, he will know the answer, not just about the vehicles on his lot, but also when it comes to pop culture. So when you stop by and see him off Don Tyson in Springdale, not only ask him about the vehicle you're looking for, whether it's a brand new Mitsubishi or a pre-owned, you could ask him something about pop culture. I guarantee he'll know this reference.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
And I think all of us do at that point. Again, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. And check out both locations online as well. All right, we got hour number 3 coming up. Special guest, Conor Nolan, set to join us. Conor just had his debut for the Iowa Cubs in Des Moines. Had a pretty stellar start. He is well on his way to Wrigley Field, it looks like. So we're going to catch up with him, what it's been like the last 2 years in the minor leagues. Just think, basically 2 summers ago, he was in Omaha, Nebraska, basically a game away from the College World Series final. Now, he's one team away from playing in Wrigley Field. We'll chat with Conor. Get your text in if you got a question for him, as hour 3 is coming up next.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Here we go, Arkansas. The current Lotto jackpot is over $2.5 million. Someone right here in Arkansas is going to win a life-changing jackpot. How do we know? Because Lotto is only played and won here at home. Feeling good about your chances? Try Lotto today for only $2 per play. Get your ticket at any Arkansas lottery retailer or on the Jackpocket app. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
This is the Morning Rush.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with the exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at AAABM.com or call us at 471-1771.
This is Chuck Fawcett with Chuck Fawcett Realty. When I have an HVAC problem or a plumbing problem, I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940. Blaylock Heating and Air.
So to have a red truck rolling your way today, give us a call. That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs and great York Home products. It's just one number you need to know. That's 782-8940.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a little bit of patchy fog to start, otherwise sunshine. Our high this afternoon into the mid to upper 80s. Could see some scattered showers across the south. Mainly clear north tonight, mid 60s. We'll see some showers and thunders from south, overnight lows closer to 70 degrees. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell. Ready to serve.
The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 36 days.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
As we've seen over the course of my lifetime, your lifetime, preseason predictions are not always indicative of what happens in the actual year.
Rarely are they. You look at the record of media days and predicting champions, and the record's not great for the media in predicting always just the SEC champion. And it's going to get harder as leagues get bigger. And now you don't have divisions. And, I mean, I think it makes the predictions even more difficult. Not enough focus is put on personnel. Not enough focus is put on, and I think that's harder to do now because of NIL. And I think last year, this is just my opinion, some of the NIL stuff and some of the things that, we saw going on around the team, I don't think it was the only reason, but it was part of the reason why maybe the team didn't live up to its expectations. We heard about trouble in the locker room, and there was clearly trouble between the offensive coordinator and Dan Enos, the quarterback, and that offensive system that led to a midseason change. I think the season never got on track offensively in particular, and this year you got to be more hopeful.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me rephrase that. You got two gentlemen. You got one ain't earned it yet, has he?
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's
All right, it's hour number 3 on the Morning Rush. Clay Henry is alongside myself and Tommy Kraft, as is Conor Nolan, who's set to join us to start this hour. Recently moved up to the Chicago Cubs AAA affiliate, the Iowa Cubs in Des Moines, Iowa, a place that we were there a couple years ago, Tommy, for an NCAA tournament game, and now Connor's pitching for a little bit, hopefully not for long before he heads to Chicago.
Yeah, looking forward to a great conversation. First, a word for Arkansas Golf and Power Sports. Great hometown business right here in Fayetteville. If you're looking for a golf cart, either to enjoy on the course or in your neighborhood, or maybe both, they can customize a perfect cart for you and your family. They have street legal options as well. Lithium batteries are the way to go anymore, and they come with an 8-year warranty. So they're going to stand behind their Easy Go carts, which are American-made. And, again, they can make it all about you. Wheels, tires, seats, lights, sound, and speakers, whatever you're looking for to really kind of stand out, maybe have the best looking cart in your neighborhood or your course, they can do that for you. They're in Fayetteville. They're in Little Rock. You get off the Garland exit, go the opposite way, the Auto Park or Sam's. You take the right at the light. They're on McConnell behind the rental place there. You'll find Arkansas Golf and Power Sports. They're also in Little Rock as well. That's Arkansas Golf and Power Sports. For all your golf cart needs, go to arpowersports.com.
Here's the pitch. He struck him out swinging, and Osuna looked pretty foolish with that uppercut. 2 outs. He'll come set with that closed stance. Here's the pitch. Swing off of Nolan's body, recovering it in front of the mound. Tough play at first base. He got him. Conor Nolan took 2 line drives off his body on Friday, and he's a baseball magnet right now. But, man, he's wearing a flak jacket on the pitcher's mound. What a play by Conor Nolan to keep him scoreless. Deep breath by Nolan. Here's the pitch. He struck him out swinging again with a slider, just like the first inning. 2 strikeouts in a scoreless third inning thrown by Conor Nolan. 0-2 the count on the left-handed Stokely, who's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. He struck him out on a slider in the dirt. Turner blocks it, flips to Stovall, and they go down in order with a good morning, good afternoon, good night strikeout of Hunter Stokely. 4 strikeouts and 4 scoreless innings thrown by Conor Nolan, and that's his first perfect inning of the game.
Hey, this is former Razorback pitcher Conor Nolan. You're with me for the Morning Rush.
So there's way more highlights we could have added in Ariel. Big C with a fantastic job as we bring in Conor Nolan this morning. Conor, that's your old walk-up song, man. Does that bring you back down memory lane a little bit?
It does. I've actually kept the same walkout in pro ball too, so kind of keeping it alive.
So kind of give us a sense. Last 2 years, 2 summers ago, we were in Omaha, Nebraska, and you guys were on the brink of going to the College World Series final, and now you're, again, on a AAA affiliate team, 1 step away from Chicago. What has this journey been like in the last 2 years for you?
It's been a whirlwind. Honestly, it moved so quickly, and it feels like yesterday that we were in Omaha and, playing with that team. So I've been enjoying the process. It's definitely a grind, and it goes by quick, but getting to see some familiar faces on other teams. Got to play Michael Turner, in battles with Patrick Wicklander earlier in the year. So getting to see some Razorbacks in pro ball is definitely a good thing.
Connor, walk us through the life of a minor leaguer. What's the journey been like? Compare it to your time at Arkansas. What's those last 2 years been like on a day-to-day basis?
It's just all baseball all the time. Obviously, in the season, we're playing 6 days a week, and then you get 1 off day. So it's not like college where we're just playing on the weekends and get to enjoy a few off days. It's a long, steady grind, and it's pretty much a year-round sport. We get into off-season camps pretty early in October, November, and kind of just trying to fix all the little things leading up into spring training, which starts January.
Connor, this is Clay Henry. I'm going to take you back to Omaha in that Stanford game. Number 2 Stanford with a loaded lineup. I thought that was as well-pitched game as I've seen by a Razorback in that kind of a setting. Tell us how you've changed as a pitcher in the last 2 years as you've gone into pro ball, and maybe there's a little tighter managing aspect to it.
There's definitely been adjustments. As soon as I got in the Cubs organization, they added a new pitch called a sweeper, pretty much a slider, but with a lot of horizontal movement and kind of just dialing in the changeup. I really only had, 2 pitches when I was at Arkansas, fastball and then the hard curveball. So kind of just adding to my arsenal and just learning how to keep hitters off balance even more with all the guys up here. Everybody's a good hitter. They can stick to their approach and kind of just playing your own game to where you know how your arsenal works and how you can use it to get out of big spots or attack hitters.
We're talking with Greenwood Bulldog, Arkansas Razorback, and Iowa Cubs pitcher Conor Nolan here on the Morning Rush. Connor, you reference some of your former teammates that you've gotten a chance to play. Some of your former teammates are coming back to Fayetteville for another season, and I would say unexpected. Will McIntyre, a fellow pitcher, and then Kendall Diggs. How important do you think they can be for Arkansas and Dave Van Horn this next year?
I think it's great. To have guys like that have been there and done it and seen how to win in the postseason is I mean, that's a great thing to have on a team, and those older leaders can really teach the young guys how to step up to the plate early. Obviously, there's going to be some freshmen that come in that are going to need to take big spots, big roles, with losing some guys last year to the draft, or this year, I guess. And I think just having the wisdom, the knowledge, and they have been around the coaching staff for, 4 or 5 years now. They can really add some good advice in there too that maybe the coaching staff wouldn't have told them.
Connor, the old adage that we hear around the Southeastern Conference is, the weekends in the SEC are like playing Double-A ball. You've been there and done both. Is that comparison or that contrast accurate, or how would you say your time at Arkansas and pitching against SEC batters has prepared you for where you are today?
I think it's really similar. I think it's more like high A baseball. Obviously there's 2 or 3 really good guys in the lineup in the SEC that can, put the ball out of the park, and that's what you're really worried about, is them creating damage. Double-A was a little bit different because everybody in the lineup can hurt you. There's pop all throughout the lineup, and you really got to tread lightly in those spots. So I think it's a mix. I mean, there's some teams that are better, some teams that are worse. So high A or Double-A, I think, is a good comparison.
And so where AAA Des Moines, where all do you guys travel to? Have you had a chance to look at it, and what might be the closest you'll ever get to Arkansas, in this journey right now?
We just played in Memphis, actually. Just got back early Monday, so we had a weekend series there, and I think that's the closest we get. We traveled back to Omaha. I know we make a trip out to Rochester, but Memphis is definitely the closest stop we make.
And you had a good showing in Memphis, if I remember correctly. 5 innings, 0 runs given up. Did it just kind of seem like an ordinary walk in the park versus having to move up a classification?
It was weird. I mean, I was kind of just taking in the moment and trying to, get the nerves out. But, I looked up and it was the 4th inning pretty quickly. So I was very surprised that it went how it did, just with, all the nerves I had, playing with a new team, different catcher. It's all different, but it's the same game. You just go out there, throw strikes, and good things happen.
Connor, this is Clay again. Take us back to when you were making the decision between football and baseball. And I think there was a kind of a winter bullpen that kind of flipped the switch. Dave, just take us back to the conversations and the thought process, because that had to be difficult.
It was very difficult. I mean, I love football and enjoyed my time playing football at Arkansas. Had a lot of great memories there, and had a lot of close friends that I made. But ultimately, earning a starting spot as a freshman and getting the amount of innings I did really put me in a position to really dive deep into baseball, commit all my time. And, I'll say it's paid off. I mean, I'm in professional baseball and living out the dream of trying to make it to the big leagues. So at the time, it was a tough decision, but looking back, I have no regrets about it, and I'm glad the way it went, and just really appreciative of the coaching staff, Coach Van Horn, obviously, Coach Hobbs, for helping me get to this point.
Connor, what advice would you give for a guy like Hagan, who was picked 5th overall, or Peyton Stovall, or Ben McLaughlin, guys that were recently drafted? I mean, you've been through it the last 2 years. What's your advice to some of your former teammates that are starting the process as of now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that's different is you just take your lumps and bruises and keep moving. I mean, there's so many opportunities to move up, to advance, and you never know when your time's going to come, or that thing flips and your bad season goes to a great season. So I think if you just keep your nose down and you keep working, there's going to be the bad days, there's going to be good days. And if you just kind of stay in the middle and never get too high or too low, I think that's the key of having success.
Yeah.
Connor, have you got a chance to watch Paul Skeens at all? I mean, he's the story in baseball. His transformation from LSU to now Pittsburgh is remarkable. Have you gotten a chance to watch him play just yet?
I have. It's unbelievable. He's it's hard not to see him throw. He's on the ESPN every night. Seems like you can't turn on a TV without seeing him.
Speaking of being on ESPN, obviously when you were playing at Arkansas, found yourself in postseason on there consistently. Your dad made an appearance or two. I mean, it seemed like Frank was always finding the camera. What's your dad and the rest of your family up to?
Oh, they're just I have a little brother and a little sister that are out in Reno right now, so he's getting geared up for his first year of high school, and they're just chasing the kids around. They're playing sports, trying to do the same thing I'm doing.
So, growing up in a place like Greenwood, Arkansas, Sebastian County, what from that experience and your time there has molded you into who you've become today?
I think there's so many good influences there. Obviously, I spent my time in high school there, and just the work ethic that is taught by the football program, the baseball program, is really the biggest takeaway that I have. I mean, there's a time to be a kid, obviously, in high school. Still enjoyed my time, but there's also a time to work, and I think having that balance and knowing how to manage a schedule has really set me up because, right now you get to AAA and kind of your career, you do what you need to do, you get your workouts in. There's not really anybody sitting there telling you need to do this or that. They give you a plan, and it's up to you to make those decisions and do what you need to do.
Yeah. How many times have you moved? How many places have you lived in the last 2 years?
Probably 4 now. I actually moved out to Phoenix for the off season. So moved out to Phoenix, was in South Bend, Indiana, Knoxville, Tennessee, and now Des Moines.
So,
man,
becoming an expert at it.
I'm trying. A few more years, I might be a road warrior. I don't know.
Hopefully the next move's to Chicago, right?
That would be great. That'd make it a little bit easier move, I think.
We got a Big C in here is a huge Cubs fan, Connor, so I know he, like many others, would love to see you in a Chicago Cubs uniform pitching in Wrigley Field. Man, we really appreciate you joining us this morning, kind of giving an update on what's been going on with you, and can't wait to see that news update coming out of Chicago that you've been promoted at some point, whether it's this year or down the road, man.
I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it too, and really appreciate you guys having me on.
All right.
Good stuff from Conor Nolan. Clay, you referenced that bullpen and then also the performance against Standard. I think back to Conor's last game pitching in a Razorback uniform where, you had I forget the Ole Miss pitcher. You might know it off the top of your head, Clay, but that was about as good as a pitcher duel that you've seen in a College World Series game, that they went toe-to-toe with one another.
Yeah, first one scores wins. And, Conor had 2 great outings, NCAA tournament there. Really, that whole tournament, I think that solidified his draft status and made him some points with scouts, and that's the time when teams are really making that final decision. And that was an incredible Stanford lineup that no one had held down all year, and he shut them down. And it was a notable performance. And sometimes we get locked in on say a Kevin Kopp's season or what Hagen Smith did this, but that senior season all the way through for Conor was just solid. And he was the ace of the staff, and he was dependable. And he chewed up innings. Sometimes he might not have his best. I can remember a lot of times Matt Hobbs said, well, that wasn't the best Conor Nolan, but he's a bulldog and just kind of fought his way to the 7th or 8th inning. Gave us, was eating innings with quality start after quality start. He had not really performed, over the course of a season until that year. Up and down. Mm-hmm. And I think that the off season, if I remember right, he stayed home that summer and really worked on his body the same way that Kevin Kopp's did. And he really jumped up his velocity and was a different pitcher as a senior. I mean, he gave Arkansas innings throughout his time, but that was really some quality stuff that that you saw from him week after week.
And on a lighter note, Tommy, he accounted for 25% of the Chad Morris wins at Arkansas, winning 1 of 4 games for the Razorbacks against Tulsa.
His only start. He was a winner.
And he won the game, which was pretty wild. So good stuff with Conor. You can find it in the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast, and he's busy, guys. You just heard, so we appreciate him joining us this morning.
Yeah, brought to you by Oaklawn Sports. You know, football season is almost here, so if you haven't downloaded the Oaklawn Sports app, it's in the Apple app or Google Play Store. You can get in on all the action. Futures, outright winners, spreads, totals, player props, game props, all will be there with the Oaklawn Sports app. And they've made it easier than ever with debit and credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, ACH, and on-site cash at Oaklawn to get your money in or out of your account. And they've still got the second chance on your first bet up to $250. Create your account, make your deposit, and if your first bet doesn't work out, they'll give you a bonus bet up to $250. Bet with the brand you know, bet with the brand you trust, bet with Arkansas's best sports betting app, bet with Oaklawn Sports.
I'm assuming, Big C, that when he does get called up, I'm going to see you in a Conor Nolan Cubs jersey, right? I mean, that's just an automatic buy.
I'm probably going to do that because, I mean, I haven't had much of a reason to buy a Cubs jersey. I kind of outgrow that part of my childhood, but a Conor Nolan jersey, I'll do it.
Pretty sweet.
You got to
You know, and we watch Paul Skeens, guys, and what he's doing right now and his very fast ascension to the majors. That's the exception, not the rule.
Correct.
And the fact, Clay, that Conor Nolan has risen to AAA in what I would call a relatively condensed amount of time in 2 years is pretty remarkable. I think that gets lost in the conversation because we think everybody's Paul Skeens and gets there in the same year.
He needs probably 3-4 more quality starts at AAA, and they're going to expand the rosters, and he's going to be one of the guys that gets to come up. I think it'll happen at the end of this summer. And the Cubs aren't in contention for anything, and they're going to give some young guys some innings. Then it's about just staying healthy. But he has proven himself over the last 2 years, and he's right on the edge of something pretty cool.
It was at the Stanford game. I remember when we were in Omaha, we were doing the show from AJ's Cafe, and Conor came along with Frank, and I'm forgetting. I believe his grandpa's name's Bucky, if I remember that right. They came and sat next to the table next to us. Tommy, we did the whole show that morning. And that was right after that Stanford game that you mentioned, Clay, where he'd spit pitches stellar. It was wild to watch his transformation. You talked about Kevin Kopps earlier, to see him improve as much as he did and really become the Arkansas alpha of that pitching staff. So appreciate him joining us this morning. Bud Light Morning Rush podcast, like I said, and we'll also have it for you on hitthatline.com.
All right, more of your beefs coming up here on a Watch Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. If you're putting something on the grill tonight, stopping at Richard's for the best selection, quality, and value. They've always got the cut you're looking for at Richard's Country Meat Market for the best meat in town. Visit richardscountrymeatmarket.com or stop in and see them just off College in Fayetteville.
All right, so the beef that we haven't let Clay share just yet this morning. We will get into that coming up. I've still got one or two, honestly, around the Kansas City Chiefs. The fact that I think they're on their way to another Super Bowl, not just appearance, but maybe a win, which has never happened in Super Bowl era. So we'll get into that. And we got our SEC update coming up in just a bit. We'll share you some Southeastern Conference news as we continue to roll on with Clay Henry here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday edition of The Morning Rush.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
This is Tony Bua, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
And he's in. Touchdown, Arkansas. Drive a compact SUV that has more style.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSAuto.com.
your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I got my first real six string.
Ty, you know how much I love to mock your opinions, but I actually think you're right.
Hobbs breaks it to the outside. He took up the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Cedric Cobb.
What a left arm, stiff arm.
And then the speed was amazing.
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
All right, we shared a few of our beefs this morning here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. I've got a few more that I'd like to divulge with you if you allow me to. We'll do that coming up in just a bit.
Quick word for Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms on the south side of Fort Smith. Every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family can be done right there in one place. General dentistry, braces, implants, cosmetics, even same-day crowns are available. See Dr. Sparkman or his team, Dr. Davis and Farmer. They give all of their patients a comfortable experience and a better smile to make you more confident. And again, same-day crown service available now at Riley Farm Dental. 479-226-3500. Call and make an appointment. That's 226-3500 or online at RileyFarmDental.com.
What's Your Beef Wednesday on the Morning Rush is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. No other meat market is in the same league when it comes to the selection, quality, and value you get from Richard's.
Oh, God, it's so good. So good and tasty.
1 block east of College and Rolling Hills Drive at 3042 North Market Avenue. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Paul Caller in Huntsville, guys, beef is the people that drive in the fog without their lights being on. It's kind of a scary, and rain too.
But anymore, unless you turn them off, your lights automatically come on. I mean, I never leave mine; just stay
You're
on
auto.
Yeah.
I don't have mine. That's the one thing. I auto debit everything out of my account. I don't like my car lights on auto. I'm usually an
What
auto
does your
guy.
auto debit?
Well, I'm usually. So what I'm saying is, I'm trying to equate it. I'm usually an auto-friendly guy. Like I like things where it just
Swing and a miss on that one.
automatically hurts.
Yeah.
But in this case, I like to manually
know,
turn mine on.
In the fog, and I know we had a little fog across part of the region. Your high beams make it worse.
That is true. Clay, do you have a beef here this morning at 8:30 on a Wednesday?
This is golf. This is golf related.
Yeah.
So played golf in Loveland, Colorado 3 weeks ago. It's a par 3 course, just 9 holes. The group in front of us, now there wasn't anywhere to go. It's not like we needed to be playing through them. But so you'd have to wait on each tee. But there was a couple. They never got to the green. They were always short of the green. So they left their cart, short of the green. And then they would play up, putt out, and then come back to their cart. You didn't have to keep it on the path. And then they would sit in the cart and count their score and write the score down.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like, so take your cart around to behind the green. When you walk off the green, you're now out of play and the green is open. And I never did holler, never did lose my cool or anything towards them. But one time I did say something that I regret. And 7-year-old Wyatt is like, "Do you mean she should be in a nursing home?" I'm not going to say what I said, but that was his translation. Yeah.
Okay. I golf beef of mine, Clay. And trust me, I'm terrible, so I try and play as fast as possible. And so when people play slow and they're not good, that drives me up a wall.
Yeah. I mean, the not good part I can accept. I mean, it's like that. I want them to be out there, but some courtesy and some etiquette and some knowledge of where they are and what they're doing. They were
Self-awareness. Have some self-awareness.
That makes sense.
It's just common sense.
A golf beef. I left my rangefinder in Tampa. I've since sent a.
They get lost a lot.
I know.
That's like $400.
Well, it was given to me, but I sent a paid postage stamp. Hopefully that the pro staff.
There's more than one stamp. It's going to take
whatever the postage, the U.S. Postal Service, you have a paid package thingamajig, whatever I've sent that to an email, so hopefully it gets to me at some point. But it is a little frustrating not to have that handy dandy thing.
Can you
to
imagine
utilize.
that there was golf without those?
Yeah. Ugh.
It's in your lifetime too, Ty.
Yeah.
I mean,
You'd step it off from the sprinkler marker or the stripe on the cart path.
The good thing about most of my golf early in life was played walking. and I got really good at my steps, hitting 1 yard, so I could count out yardage, and really was.
I'll put you at umpire. You mark some penalties off for me this fall.
You had to do all this math, Ty. It would be really hard for you because you go, okay, the pin is in what part of the green? This is yardage to the middle of the green. Where is the pin related to that? So you're doing all these plus and minuses. I'm not sure you could handle.
And I'm 23 steps off the 150 marker.
And then it's 10 yards past that because it's on the back part of the green. Or if you've got a 40, 50-yard green like you had at Pleasant Valley, it got complicated.
My head's just spinning just talking about it, much less thinking about it.
I'll say this, Clay. I played with our boy yesterday, and I guess he's not working enough because he's vastly improved. I mean, greatly improved his ball striking.
Yeah, so when you think
balls.
that he's finally reached a level that I should let him play with me, just don't tell me, okay?
Okay.
Just don't tell you.
Maybe next year.
Oh, no.
Not this season, but maybe next golf season.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you, Clay. I'm coming for you.
And we finally got that driver out of his hands that sounded like he was hitting an Easton bat.
I still have it. I think
you need to throw it away.
It's back here.
It goes tink.
Yeah, it was loud. It was loud off the tee.
This is my Rafiki stick from
kind of
Lion
matches
King.
his total personality.
Yeah.
Loudmouth. Exactly,
Yeah.
Clay.
Hey, get by Arts Barbecue, burgers and more for lunch today, and they've got something great always on their specials. Their burgers are great, 10 different ones that you can choose off the menu. Each kind of have a different theme, and you can just go with, I think anything with bacon's always better on it there because they do their own house bacon, but great selection of burgers that some have pulled pork. I like the green chili burger that's got the poblano pepper. And on Saturdays, all burgers are $1 off. So that's one of their specials every week. So get by at Arts, try that, and they'll have a lunch special. I believe it's the sliced pork sandwich today. They had pork chops yesterday. So something always good. It's Arts Barbecue, burgers, and more. And I think the more is as good as anything. But they're great ribs. They do the baby backs that are the loin back ribs that are just always tender and delicious. Arts Barbecue, Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
We'll wrap up the show next on the Morning Rush.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from 2.
This is Jarius Wright, and you listen to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
Razorback.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with the exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey & Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey & Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit KevinHickeyLaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey & Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Wits Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Wits Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Walk-Ons is always a win. Whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner, Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Fort Smith, Springdale, and always online at burtonpools.com.
We had a chance to catch up with Conor Nolan to start this hour. If you missed that conversation, you maybe only caught part of it. Bud Light Morning Rush podcast, also on hitthatline.com. And we asked him about some of his former teammates, including Hagen Smith, former SEC pitcher. Tommy, I don't know if you saw this in Whole Hog Sports. Hagen is signed for the highest drafted, signing bonus ever for a lefty, $8 million.
Unbelievable.
$8 million, more than Heston got when he was drafted. Y'all help me on this, second or third by the Orioles a couple years back, but apparently that's the highest ever by a lefty. It's kind of cool.
And that part's guaranteed, and it's a high slot value being up there in that top 5. So good for him. I mean, that's that's great for him and his family, and makes all that hard work you put in, all those practices your mom and dad drove you to, all those summer vacations your family spent at a ball field. All seem worthwhile now.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. that
8 million is a little more than a memory.
I was going to say, I'm curious when the kid's in Boulder, Texas, thinking about where he's going to school, envisioning what he's, again, doing now and getting a chance to accomplish with the Chicago Cubs. So we've seen some salary figures pop up, like Jordan Love, for example. As a Green Bay Packers fan, I'm curious what the Packers and Brian Gutekunst do with him long term. He could be set to be the highest paid quarterback ever, which I think is currently a title that Trevor Lawrence holds based on that new contract. What, assuming you got that type of money, what's the first thing you're doing? Like the very first thing. I don't know. I'm going to my favorite. You know, I'm a cheap. You know what? I've always been that way. It's part of my charm, I guess, to a certain extent. But I'm going to my favorite restaurant and not holding back. I usually hold back when I go to a restaurant, unless it's on your tab. Then I'll go all out. But I'm actually going to get everything that I want to get at that said restaurant. It's the first thing I'm doing if I've made that type of money.
If you get drafted in the MLB draft, then you got to go right to work. So you don't get any time to really go do it. It'd probably be some kind of golf trip or some kind of family vacation, something like that would be probably the I don't know. I'm not a sports car guy. I'm not going to go out and get the flashy car. I don't need a 10,000 square foot mansion. But I'm also not 21 or 22 or 23. So my taste buds are a little different at 48. So
I feel like I'd eat the same stuff, drink the same stuff, drive the same car. I mean, I'll get another Toyota of some sort, but I don't. The golf trip idea is appealing to me. Yeah. I actually just got funny enough, Tommy, as you said that, I got a text about the Wentworth Inn in New Hampshire. We've already got one of the group members that went to Tampa with us is already trying to game plan for next summer at some point. We're going to go somewhere less 90 plus degrees and go probably up north somewhere. But yeah, that's a good one. Speaking of up north, Joe Burrow, a former LSU Tiger. Have you seen his new dyed hair?
I just saw the scrolling through X last night, saw something on this. Yeah,
I don't know why. I mean, Burrow's got this charm, this charisma. He looks weird.
Get attention,
I guess.
What do you think? Weird things to get attention.
Yeah, I mean, I think of him as a clean cut guy, but apparently he's made a lifestyle change. And what color is it?
It's like yellow. Okay. Like blonde. It just looks weird. It looks odd. But like you
the
said,
honey badger back.
Yeah, I guess when you got a lot of money, you can.
Honey badger can pull it off. I don't know if Joe can.
I would just I would think that would limit you on certain things in your endorsement possibilities. But who
knows, man?
He colored it. It's not permanent.
Yeah. By the way, Bill in Fayetteville chimes in. He said he's doing the sensible thing. He's paying off all his debt first. He's going to buy a house and pay cash for it and invest. Bill's. Yeah. I would guess got some gray hairs on him. Do something, Bill. Do something off the wall.
I'm with you, Bill.
We can only imagine at that point.
Again, our financial taste buds change from your 20s to your 50s.
I have never had okay. So right out of school, when I didn't make jack, I was very stringent, very tight on myself, and then I started to obviously make some more money as I got a little bit older. With this house, budget's getting ratcheted down again.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like this bill, this bill, this bill,
started.
This bill, and luckily nothing's really.
You gas and electric, or you all electric?
I think it's both.
Well, you would know. Did you have to put a deposit up for both?
OG&E, AOG.
Yep, you got both.
Both. Yeah.
Is it just you?
That's one more bill to pay.
Assuming it's just you living
for
there.
Internet. You got to get your internet in there.
So. Internet's. I got a discount at least being an AT&T customer of sorts with the Wi-Fi. I mean, I want a dog. I'm gonna get that lab puppy at some point, but I'll have roommates.
Yeah, that'll be the end of the trips. So
yeah, unfortunately, that's what my dad said. Yeah. All right, that is your SEC update this morning. Joe Burrow's hair, Hagen's money, and a little more to get to in just a sec.
All right, Burton Pools and Spas brings us our SEC update. Right now, Burton Pools and Spas has the summer clearance event going on. Get high-quality above-ground pools installed for just $57 a month. They've got $1,000 off on in-stock Doughboy above-ground pools. And if you want an in-ground pool, fiberglass models right now on sale, clearance pricing under $48,000 right now. So don't miss out on this. If it's a hot tub you're after, they got discounts up to $7,300 during this sale. So it won't last long. Get to Burton Pools and Spas, Fort Smith, Springdale, and now in Greenland as well. and online at BurtonPools.com. They do more than just build pools. They build long-term relationships at Burton Pools and Spas.
So another beef of mine, kind of Clay shared his. We got into another one. Is I feel like, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong. We're way out. We've talked about 30 some odd days to Arkansas football. That means 40 some odd days till the NFL season. Unfortunately, I feel like we're going to hear this call once again.
McKinnon is in at running back. First down and goal to go. Play action fake. Right side throw. Touchdown. Kansas City. McCole Hardman with the catch on the right side. A 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime. Kansas City wins the game. 25-22.
You hear legendary Kansas City Chiefs announcer Mitch Holthus on the call there. Tommy, I know it hasn't happened in the Super Bowl era, and maybe it's just me making too much out of watching a practice clip here or there, but I think we're and I hate this because I really don't want Kansas City to win again, even though we've got Chiefs fans listening right now.
All the Swifties are rooting for it.
I know. And
my wife's a Chiefs fan now. She's a Swiftie.
And it's driving me nuts. I to tie that into the beef that I think Casey's going to repeat again. It's Travis Kelce. Give me more of Jason. I don't care. Jason's hilarious. I'll take him. Travis just get on my nerves. More I listen to him talk. Jason's the better brother. It's not close. But yeah, it is.
Who's living their best life though?
Probably Travis.
Yeah.
I would.
I saw where they were spending $1 million, I think, a month on privacy and security.
A month?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Golly. Breeden will do it for cheaper than that.
Huh?
I said Officer Breeden
Well,
will do
I mean, I think this probably goes, like you rent the whole floor of a hotel, private jets. I think when you lump all that together so they can have privacy and security and do the trips and things they want. I was reading now it's on social media, so take it for what it's worth. But they've spent about $1 million a month.
But are you really living privately when you've got security all
yeah, because all those people are on your payroll to keep their mouth shut. They don't want to get fired.
I get where you're coming from, Big C, because it's always like the annoyance of knowing that there's people, excuse me, that are constantly, whether it's security, whether it's crazy fans, stalkers. I mean, there's a list of them that would not be fun to have to deal with on a daily basis. You've had to go through this before.
No, no,
not even to a
not
even to a extent.
I mean, can you imagine? I mean, Kelsey's famous, but she's iconic.
Yeah,
she can't go anywhere with that. I mean, and her look is so unique that she stands out.
Kelsey Ballerini's better DQ than Taylor Swift. I've seen both.
Better at what?
As an artist.
Okay.
Oh, I've seen her live. Kelsey's fantastic.
Album sales would say different, but
yes,
very
much so.
Revenues earned would say different, but okay.
Big C,
to each their own.
I'm kind of surprised you haven't jumped in on the CD Lamb as your beef this morning. They can't seem to come to an agreement thus far.
Well, I mean, I knew they were having kind of like issues. I just figured they'd get resolved at some point. If
playing hardball, aren't they?
If they can't sign CD Lamb, then you talk about a complete failure of an offseason. Like I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. If he does not re-sign, that is not good.
Yeah.
I mean that has to happen. I don't understand why. Like
because he knows it, Jerry knows it. So it's when's the first game? 40 how many days? Yeah, exactly.
Like
Camps win
right around
about
there.
now. It's negotiating season.
40 some odd days till we see that opening game in Arrowhead Stadium between the Chiefs and the newly retooled Baltimore Ravens with Derrick Henry.
Was it Jerry in court or something? Like,
yeah, he's had other stuff he's had to deal with that he's been preoccupied with. But yeah, that is definitely a beef of most Cowboy fans listening. This morning, I guess one more game in Jerry World this upcoming season. Do you think, let's see, by 2030, does Arkansas play in Jerry World again? Do they have a one-off game where you think they sign up? I was thinking about
guessing, but I would say no.
I'd like to see if they do that, like one game. I'd like to see them play Texas Tech or Nebraska.
If you're going to play there, it's because TV wants you to play there.
That's true.
And it has to go together. So you'd have to have they'll put the game on the SEC network or something else. But
yeah.
Generally those things are played because both sides are going to make more money playing a neutral site. So, can you make can you make the money through ticket sales and what Jerry would give you? And
at least that
so
game's
on and
not
so
11
forth.
a.m.
Yeah. So
2:30 to 3:30, if I remember that right.
What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. They make it easy with curbside pickup. To place your order, call Richard and his crew, 479-443-0000. They'll have ready-to-grill kebabs, bacon-wrapped fillets, perfectly flavored gourmet beef patties, quarter-pound hot dogs and beef franks, and shop-made sausages, all to go on the grill for you this weekend. You don't even have to worry about the sides or desserts. Get that potato salad, too. Richard's has you covered when it comes to home-style recipes. Richard's Country Meat Market, just off College in Fayetteville, and online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com. I could tear into about a quart size of that potato salad right now. Their potato salad is unreal good.
My dad loves him some potato salad. That is something he will eat side each and every time. All right, as we close out the program here, I brought this up earlier. We didn't have a chance to get to it. You've got a chance. Razorback football has put out some pictures as of late. Media day of sorts, in-house. Guys playing the new NCAA game. If you had one player on this football team to play with, NCAA football 2025, who would it be? I'd say
play against.
I'd say Jalen Braxton. I really like that kid. He's gonna be a sophomore this year. He's gonna be a starter. I think he's gonna be the best cover corner on that team, even as a youngster. So I'd say Jalen, and I think he has a little bit of personality to him.
Luke Hobbs, maybe your best offensive player this year.
What about you, Big C?
Play with or against?
With.
Man, I tell you what, Taylon Green, man, I'm on that train.
Oh, he is top 10 in speed. Hopefully he'll show you some of that speed this upcoming season. All right, Chuck will be back with us tomorrow on a Too Stupid Thursday.
RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley models